may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Only one more win stands between the Pacers and their first trip to the NBA Finals in a quarter of a century. They will try to get that W tonight when they visit the Knicks in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. New York center Karl Anthony Towns, Indiana small forward Aaron Nesmith, both questionable. Awaiting the series winner in the finals, the Thunder, which could be on the verge of something big, says ESPN NBA analyst and former NBA point guard Jay Williams.
Look, I still think this OKC team is underhyped, but there is definitely a Spurs-like dynasty feel to them. No drama, no flash, no superstar celebrity energy, just inevitability. This just feels like it's a system built to last for a long time throughout the season.
Oilers set to welcome back defenseman Mattias Ekholm from a undisclosed injury in the potential clincher Game 5 NHL West Final tonight in Dallas, 8 Eastern ESPN. NFL from ESPN's Adam Schefter. The Dolphins have engaged in trade discussions with the Steelers about tight end Jonnu Smith.
Hey, it's resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, the Thunder steamrolled their way to the finals. I'll tell you why we should get used to them being in the finals for years to come. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
Chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom, play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Kevin Mawae in 15 minutes. Kirk Cousins to the Saints. Could it be? Someone thinks so. Kendall Rogers in hour 3. The Saints back at OTAs. Ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Tomorrow, we are 1 day away, y'all. 1 day away from regional baseball returning to Alex Box Stadium. LSU against Arkansas Little Rock, or just Little Rock as they're known now. Dallas Baptist against Rhode Island. It's almost all over, but shouting. Jay Johnson did meet with reporters earlier today. One of the benefits of an early exit from the SEC tournament and an early Thursday, Friday, Saturday week against South Carolina, as you have a very fresh pitching staff, and that's something you discussed with reporters on Thursday.
Yeah, I think this team has played well when it has its legs underneath them, so to speak. And again, like, call me old-fashioned, like, I wanted to play till Sunday in the SEC tournament as a competitor and, to keep developing the team. I think the one benefit is we lost and we went back and packed and showered and left and got home late Saturday night, which gave them Sunday to recover. Monday, we had the celebration of the season with the selection show, got some guys some individual work, and then it almost allowed those guys that have carried a big load 2 days off, and then we got a full week of prepping. So I think being fresh and rested is good. I think being at home, crowd, postseason, I think the energy will be really high with our team tomorrow.
It's all in how you spin it, the early exit from the SEC tournament. You accomplished what you needed to. You won a game. You solidified your national seed. You got both Anderson and Ianson work on Friday, which means they're both on full rest for whoever you want to use on Friday against Little Rock. Now, I certainly anticipating one of those two guys is going to start. I think that's what everybody's thinking. You might have seen today that Arkansas is not going to pitch Zach Root, their ace. They're going to pitch off. And that is pretty common in regionals when you are a prohibitive favorite like LSU is in this game against Little Rock. And especially, it's especially true if you don't have a second starter, which LSU has two. But, we could point out that, in 2013 and 2014, Aaron Nola didn't pitch on the Friday of regionals. He did in 2012 as a freshman because Kevin Gosman was your ace, and Gosman was held for the marble game. It's just an atypical thing to see an ace throw on the Friday of a regional, but they did it with Paul Skeens. I'm fully expecting that this is what they're going to do in this ball game against Little Rock. You're going to see Anderson out there. Anderson or Ianson, but very likely they just keep everybody on their date. And so you'll see Anderson on Friday, Ianson on Saturday. Jay could change it up. We'll see what he elects to do. But I think the biggest development of the team up into this point, really, lately the biggest criticism has been the offense. And I get it. We've talked plenty about that. But up until this point of the season, the bigger question about this team that we've all talked about, like if there was something that was going to be the hurdle they couldn't clear that would keep them from their goal, it was going to be the bullpen. And like we often say, 56 game, or in LSU's case this year, 55 game season is an evolution. You are seldom at the end, which you are at the beginning. What you do is you spend those first 8-10 weeks learning about your team, and you continue to shrink the bullpen as you establish roles. So, you haven't seen Connor Benj in a month. I think we've seen Chandler Dorsey once all year. You've learned what role Maverick Rizzi and Cooper Williams have. Same with DJ Primo. And what you've seen happen is you have established guys in roles Like we've known all season really who your first four are with Anderson, Ianson, Evans, and Cowan. Those are your first four. Well, what you've seen develop now are guys like Newt and Shores and Myers. By the way, I'm not sure if you paid attention, but I went and wrote this down. Jacob Myers in his last 7 outings, 6 of which, by the way, were against SEC opponents. The only exception was a midweek he threw against McNeese. In his last 7 outings, Jacob Myers has thrown 6 1/3, 1 run on 2 hits, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks. He's been awesome over his last 7 outings. So you've developed a guy there now who throws 100, who has been really good for you for an extended number of outings now. And that's a guy you feel like you can count on. And that's something Jay Johnson talked about, was like, yeah, they feel like they have good bullpen depth now as they head into the postseason.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. And I would say this, if Jay Johnson doesn't feel good about his pitching at this point, then nobody in the country should. I feel like those guys are aligned really, really well right now. And Coach Yeski's done a great job, and they've improved, and I think they have confidence. They're throwing their pitches with conviction, and I'm excited to watch them execute this weekend.
So Tigers will take on Little Rock. I think what will be of great importance and notable is if the offense does get going against Jackson Wells from Little Rock, and you end up in a lopsided game, which, by the way, is very likely to happen. I know the odds are out for the LSU Little Rock game. LSU is minus 2,500 in this game. If you're wondering, the only team with better odds to win their opening or their Friday game at the regional is Arkansas against North Dakota State. Arkansas is minus 2,900. The next closest team, I think, is North Carolina's minus 1,600. There's some lopsided lines, but I'm trying to find the other ones. That's over. I think that's the only other one. That's 4 digits. Oregon's minus 850. Point is, like, as much as we've talked about, maybe tried to talk about Little Rock being a better team than what their record shows, the odds makers certainly don't think that. One more from Jay Johnson, though. This is Jay on Jackson Wells, the Little Rock ace that the Tigers will see on Friday.
Very good pitcher. I think the carrying tool is strike zone pressure, like throws a lot of strikes. And, has multiple pitches, has a way, so to speak, a template of getting outs, which the best pitchers have that, and then has some adjustability within that. So really good pitcher, threw a great game to open the tournament. And you guys know how that goes sometimes with young people, like one good game kind of gets you rolling. And he set the tone and did that for them.
Jay Johnson, again, getting ready for LSU against Little Rock on Friday out at the box. It is a 2 o'clock first pitch. We will be, by the way, at Walk-On's Burbank with our friends from Mockler Beverage and Bud Light. And, of course, over at Walk-On's, gigantic party going down at Walk-On's all weekend. It's the LSU Baseball Regional tailgate, a block party of sorts. They're going to have live music. We're fired up to be there for AFR on Friday. So come join us from 3 to 6. If you need a place to watch the game, Walk-On's Burbank is a great spot to do it. Our friends from Mockler Beverage and Bud Light are going to have amazing deals on Bud Light, on Neutral, on tons of their great products. Parish Construction and Roofing, Defender, and Central Plumbing all sponsoring this in part so that it is free for everybody that wants to come out and watch the live music. Again, the post-game parking lot party with full disclosure band starts at 6 p.m. as soon as AFR is done. And then Saturday, they'll have the all-game tailgate as well with Drew Danzy Band starting from 1 to 4 p.m. So anyway, no cover, open to all ages, big door, outdoor big screen TV. They'll be streaming all the regional games over at Walk-On's Burbank. So we'll be there for AFR on Friday with our friends at Mockler Beverage, Bud Light, and we'll look forward to seeing you there as well. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. When we come back, excited about this. It's been a while since we've talked to our good friend, Pro Football Hall of Famer Kevin Mawae, who the Louisiana Line Camp is coming up and will be a part of that coaching staff for Line Camp. Looking forward to talking a little LSU football, chopping it up, and talking about Line Camp a little bit with Kevin Mawae. When we come back, go on AFR.
After further review.
Summer's here, y'all, and if you are the envy, or if you are envious of your neighbors who maybe are enjoying their pool, their outdoor kitchen, you can be in that number. I'll tell you something else that Duplessis Builders does. They will do putting greens as well. It's something I've been talking to Erica about, trying to convince her this is something I want to do. We have a trampoline that is just seldom used anymore, and that Drew used, and under it's just dead grass. I'm like, hey, instead of like resodding that right there, what if I just call Duplessis, have them come out and do like a putting green on the side of our yard? Who doesn't like to pick up a putter and knock a few balls around a little bit? So there's so many different options. But if you want that gorgeous pool that will last, you want Duplessis. Maybe you bought a home with a pool that needs an upgrade. That happened to us. The home we bought had a pool, but boy, it was dated and in rough shape. We upgraded that pool. You can do the same with Duplessis Builders. Online, duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Every year, some of the best offensive and defensive linemen and coaches in the country descend upon Thibodaux. They're at Nichols for the Louisiana Line Camp. We have the great fortune every year to talk to Coach Pete Jenkins and our next guest, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and a guy I'd consider a friend, Kevin Mawae, to talk a little bit about it and chop it up. Kev, how are you, man? It's great to hear from you.
I'm doing good, Matt. Good to hear from you. It's been a while, man.
Yeah, man. Usually about this time every year, if not in between. Hey, real quick, fill in the gaps for people maybe who haven't heard from you. What's going on? What's life? What's good with you, man?
Man, I am retired. I coached in high school ball at the end of 23. Didn't work out. Made the decision to move closer to home. I'm from Leesville, and I live on the south point of Toledo Bend. So I'm actually sitting on my back deck looking at the water and make myself available to my aging parents, and pretty much that's it.
I love it, man.
Enjoying life on the lake, buddy.
That is so good. When I texted you last week, you're in Hawaii. You have family in Hawaii?
I do. Actually, my dad's born and raised there, and then my kids are actually in Hawaii. My son, Kirkland, he's 28 now. He does land conservation, works on the Big Island. And my daughter, who was at University of Law, she just graduated from the University of Hawaii Law School that last Sunday. That's what we were all in town in Hawaii for. And so we're excited to see what's next for her.
That's awesome, man. I would imagine getting congrats on that, man. I'd love to hear it. I would imagine,
thank you.
Of course, man. I'd imagine getting the chance, to dust off the cleats and come down to Thibodaux for line camp is something you look forward to. Why do you keep coming back to this every year?
One, sentimentally, it's important to me because Kenny Farrow, my O-line coach at LSU, my first 2 years there, was one of the founders of the camp along with Pete Jenkins and Jesse Daigle. And, there was a moment there where when he went into retirement, the possibility of me taking over the camp as owner. It didn't work out because I was coaching in college ball at the time. But for me, it's to pass on his legacy as far as what's with O-line camp on the offensive side. And the other part of it is there's an opportunity for me to share my knowledge with not just the players that come there, but also the young coaches that are there. I spend more time coaching the coaches sometimes than I do the players, and enjoy every bit of it, man. Getting to know the coaches from around the state and getting to meet a lot of these young kids who want to go on to be superstars in college. And it's a great opportunity to fellowship with coaches and players alike.
LouisianaLineCamp.com, LouisianaLineCamp.com. Was the camp around when you were playing, Kev, or after you played?
No, it actually, I think we're going into the 37th year of the camp. I think it started like 1987 or something like that. I never went to the camp. By the time I even knew about it, I was already in college. And then over the years, Kenny Farrell would always call me, ask if I can come to the camp. It was always OTAs or mini camp, or it was right during my break. And I just, as a player, I just didn't do it. And I think it was like 2012, 13, 14. I think it was 14 was the first time I ever went to the camp. And I've been ever since. So I enjoy going. Like I said, I enjoy hanging out with a bunch of other coaches. My brother is the field manager, and so I get to spend time with him during that week, and it's just a fun week.
LouisianaLineCamp.com. Yeah, man, I made the trek with the Catholic Bears. Our offensive and defensive line win every year, so I still proudly have my I Survived Line Camp shirt. However, brother, it's probably about 3 sizes too big for me right now.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what, the T-shirts, we haven't gotten, there's no dry fit. They still get out those same old gray built-in T-shirts. They get heavier the more you wear it. And the thing is like everybody loves it because it's just grunt. It's like I went there, I survived it. And for those who have never been, it's not an easy camp at all. We do 8 practices over a 3-day period or 4-day period or something like that. We got double days on triple practices on Sunday, Monday, twice on Saturday and Tuesday. And it's a tough camp, and it's tough for the coaches as well. The older we get, the harder that camp becomes, but we still enjoy going and doing it.
Brother, Body Glide and baby powder becomes your best friend that week.
You know it. And the Boudreaux's butt paste, bro, I'm telling you what, Boudreaux's butt paste is the way to go, But it is. It's a great camp. It's a great camp for young kids and for high school kids. The great thing about it's not a competition camp. It's don't put you against yourself. You make it through these practices. Can you learn something? Can you get better at your fundamentals and your techniques, and learn a little bit more about the game? And that's what this camp's all about.
Yeah, man. Whether you're an individual or you're a coach, wants to bring your whole offensive or defensive line, like get down to Thibodaux for that camp. All the info is at LouisianaLineCamp.com. Spell out LouisianaLineCamp.com. Hey, I wanted to also ask, man, I'm sure you saw last week, it was so cool to see that Big Whit, Andrew Whitworth, had a hand in announcing the new Offensive Line Award for the NFL. It'll go for the best offensive lineman, the Protector of the Year Award. You had to have a little glow in the cockles of your heart when you saw that, man. What was your reaction?
I think it was pretty special. The one position that you get no knowledge, no acknowledgement unless you screw it up is playing offensive line. So for the NFL to have an award, you have the quarterback and best receiver, running backs, all that kind of stuff. But to be able to honor a guy who lives his life in the trenches, to be able to give out an award at the end of the year is pretty special. I know the NFL alumni in the past used to give out the Special Lineman of the Year award, but it's not quite the same thing. But I think it's pretty cool, and it's something that needed to be done a long time ago.
All right, as a guy that was a 2-time NFL All-Decades awardant or recipient awardant, I don't know how we'd say that, but how many times or would you have won the Protector of the Year award if it were in existence when you were playing?
I don't know. If we say a Protector of the Year, does that mean we're pass protecting, and that's what it means, second quarterback?
I'm saying best offensive lineman. Best offensive lineman.
I did it one year when I won the NFL alumni offensive lineman. Excuse me. My air compressor is going off.
Wait, what is going off?
My air compressor. I'm building an apartment inside a metal building. So, but I did. I won the Lineman of the Year award through the NFL alumni one year. I would say maybe that and maybe one other time.
Let's go, man.
I guess.
I do think it'll be interesting, Kev, because offensive, every position on the field can win either MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, except offensive lineman. There isn't anything for that. So
there's no doubt, and it's so to actually have an award is pretty special, I think. And I had this conversation long ago. I was on the LSU Hall of Fame selection committee, and in order to have a statue on campus, you had to have been voted the Naismith Award winner in basketball or the Heisman Award winner or Coach of the Year. I'm like, well, And the offensive lineman is never going to win the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
And so it's always, I've always had something about that. Not that I would have got it or anything, but it's just there's a segment of the football that happens that nobody even considers the fact that, the largest group on the football team will never be able to have an opportunity like that.
Yeah.
And it's because we don't do anything unless you're giving up sacks or unless you're, giving up holding penalties. That's the only time they ever talk about you in football games.
If you flip it too, but like think about a guy like Glenn Dorsey. Glenn Dorsey's never going to win the Heisman.
No,
I mean, he's a defensive
the best
lineman.
defensive lineman in the world.
Yeah.
But it's not, and so, I mean, he's got every award that there was to give to these defensive linemen, but he never win the Heisman Trophy winner. Thus, he will never have an opportunity to have a statue on LSU campus.
I know, it's wild,
so,
man.
Yeah.
I was fired up to see it. Speaking of, man, I'm sure you stay plugged in. One of the giant stories we're talking about with LSU this whole offseason is replacing 4 starters on the offensive line. Based on maybe what knowledge you have of what they have coming back and coming in, like how do you think this group might gel together?
Well, it was hard over the last 4 years watching some of the play because the 4 guys that left, they all played when they were true freshmen. So it was like baptism by fire. You had to get in there as a true freshman. You're taking your licks. And so, admirably that they performed well enough. And then, of course, Will Campbell becomes the highest drafted offensive lineman in LSU's history. And he's going to have a great career. But, I don't know a lot of the guys coming back. It's like the older I get, the more removed I've become from the program and the roster. I'm excited about the Bordelon brothers just because, I played with their dad, Ben, and I'm excited about what they're going to be capable of doing. I know was it Bo Bordelon that played in the bowl game. He played all 3 positions in the bowl game, and so he's got a bright future ahead of him. I'm just excited to see what's going to happen, and I hope Brad Davis can take that O-line and be successful with them. And it's nice to know that there's guys that have played and not instead of just throwing a bunch of freshmen in like they did 4 years ago.
What do you think about the conversation about Will Campbell with the arm length?
The arm length to me is, I've evaluated guys in college and in high school and, in the pros. Really, is 1 inch going to make that much of a difference? The answer is no. Is he better suited to play inside than he is outside? It'd be interesting to see. I thought he struggled a bunch of times last season. He's never played with his hand in the dirt because, he played in the up stance the entire time. So there's going to be an adjustment there for him. But, as far as like the overall arm length, it's not going to matter. It really isn't. They make such a big deal about it. I played with his guy teammate, Pete Kendall. They measured his arm length, and at the combine, it was like a gasp, like, the guy played 14 years in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So, I'd be more concerned about like the height, because my thing is if you're 6'4", or 6'5", I think Will's 6'6", and his arm length is like 33.5. They want it to be like 35. Does it really make that much difference? Can you stop the bull rush on the edge? Which I think he has the mass and strength to be able to do that. But the length of your fingernails is not going to make that much difference in whether or not you can play offensive line in the NFL.
Patriots weren't concerned about it. That's clear.
No, not at all. Not one bit.
Kevin Mawae, he'll be at Louisiana Line Camp coming up in June 14th to the 17th down in Thibodaux at Nichols. Online registration is open. Pass the word on to your teammates, coaches, LouisianaLineCamp.com, LouisianaLineCamp.com. Hey, man, it's always a pleasure. We appreciate you for making some time for us today, man.
Always, man. Good hearing from you, and if I'm ever in Baton Rouge, I'll hit you up.
Please do, man. We'd love to go get a meal.
It's too hard to leave the lake, man. It's too hard to leave the lake. I'm going to take a picture and send it on your text message so you know what I'm looking at.
That's what I need, man. Maybe I need an invite to Toledo Bend is what I need, brother. I need to come see you.
But you got 1 second. I'm going to send you a text just so you can make a comment. I want to be able to hear the comment.
All right, send it to me. All right, so this is what I guess the life of envy would be for everyone who's not a Pro Football Hall of Famer who gets to retire to Toledo Bend and live on a lake. Let me know when. All right, here we go. Here it is. Dude, look at this picture. Dude, that is awesome, man. You get out on the boat?
That's my view from my garage. So I'm standing on this next patio, this next picture. I'm actually stepped out so you can see my dock and everything.
You get out on the boat?
I don't have a boat yet, man. It's like I got to get all this other stuff done first.
How do you live on this lake?
It.
How do you live on this lake and you don't have a boat? Oh, wow.
Well, it was Memorial Day weekend this past weekend, right? So Sunday, I actually went and sat on the dock with an umbrella and, a cold water and just watched all the boats come by and just wave at them. I always said I want to be that old guy that sits on the front porch and just wave when cars come by. Well, now I just sit on my dock and do it to the people on the boat.
That's awesome, man. You deserve it, man. Job well done, and that looks like a hell of a retirement, man. I'm happy for you.
Enjoying life, man. You take care. Good talking to you, Matt.
You too, Kev. Thanks. That is Kevin Mawae, Pro Football Hall of Famer. Always been good to us, man. One of my favorite stories. Well, let me break. I'll tell you what my favorite Kevin Mawae story. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gents, as we're getting toward the summer, maybe you have a spring-summer wedding coming up. You need your wedding band. Go to Lee Michaels. 13 years ago, Erica bought my wedding band from Lee Michaels. lmfj.com. You go there, see all the inventory. lmfj.com. They got great gifts for the grad in your life or the dad in your life with Father's Day coming up. As a matter of fact, go to the website. Boom. There's on the scroll. It says Father's Day gifts right there. Watches, rings, bracelets, necklaces. So many amazing, amazing gifts for dad this Father's Day. You can check it out there at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Thanks so much to Kevin Mawae for joining us. Let me break. I will tell you the Kevin Mawae story. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. Also, the Big Ten has collectively weighed in on the future of the SEC schedule and what that might mean for the college football playoff. We'll get to that as we continue here on AFR.
After Further Review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Tell you every day if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. You can call Gordon, 888-8888, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com. Gordon also does a great job of giving out legal advice. I mean, you follow him on social. I mean, like there's a video he's got up right now, like what happens if, what happens if you get in a wreck? What do you do? What are the steps you should take? He's got one that's a hypothetical, going to the beach, 4th of July weekend, something like that, and you go through the tunnel in Mobile and somebody rear-ends you. What do you do? Well, don't panic. You're out of state. Get Gordon. Get it done. Getgordon.com. Getgordon.com. You can call 888-8888, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com. Of course, they have lawyers licensed in Louisiana and Alabama, so they can handle your case if you do have something happen somewhere else. You know what to do. Get Gordon. Get it done.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you. At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
This is one of my most prized possessions. It was a gift from Offensive Rookie of the Year, 2006 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Vince Young, to future Pro Football Hall of Famer Kevin Mawae. When Vince Young got drafted by the Titans, he won NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. And so he gave his lineman a gift, right? It's pretty customary.
It is, yeah.
What kind of gifts do we hear? Rolex.
Rolex.
ATVs.
Didn't Joe Burrow give his linemen like swords?
Yes, they got like samurai.
That
swords.
was awesome.
I mean, also, we've seen like trucks.
Cars, trucks, big
luggage, like Christmas gifts. You'll see that often. The quarterback, so Vince Young wins NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2006, and instead of giving his offensive lineman something really cool and expensive, he takes the Sports Illustrated 4 in a row, Vince Young, I can do whatever it takes to win. The SI cover, blows it up poster size on stockboard, autographs it, and gives that to his offensive lineman. It says, "To Kevin."
Uh-oh.
That damaged the value.
You did?
I don't know if you can zoom in on this, Paulie. If you can. It says, here you go. To Kevin, thanks for the block. Singular. And he signs it, Vince Young, right here. Its signature's faded a bit. But to Kevin, thanks for the block.
Only the one block.
Just the one block that he got from a future Pro Football Hall of Famer.
What a guy. What a guy.
So Kevin's telling that story on air years ago whenever he would come, into studio. And he mentions this. I'm like, oh, my God, you have that still. He's like, it's probably my attic or something like that somewhere. He gets it, brings it in, and gave it to me. So it's been in my office now for 10 years. I don't know. I love it so much.
You mean to tell me he didn't want to keep that forever?
I think that's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
I don't know that he had a great spot for it on his gorgeous lake, gorgeous lake house in Toledo Bend. What was Kevin Mawae's career earnings? I've never asked him how much money he made, but Kevin Mawae played from 1994 to 2009. So 16 seasons. Let's see. Kevin Mawae career earnings. Let's see what he made on the field. In his career, it looks like Mawae made $44.5 million over his playing career. You got agents' fees, you got taxes. There's a lot in there, right? You ain't putting $44 million in the bank.
No,
but suffice to say, Kevin did I.
Yeah, he's not hurting.
I mean, I.
More of the reason to keep that. Like, he can go get himself the truck or the Rolex or anything like that. Man, that's from the heart. That was from Vince Young's heart.
God bless. I mean, what an a-hole.
It's so bad.
Like, how detached from reality that you think, oh, wait. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
The light bulb moment.
Here it is. This is what they're going to love. This is what these guys have earned. An autographed picture of me. Personalized.
That's true. It is personalized.
Took the time to personalize it.
That's rough, man. That's so bad.
All right. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. Kev's up there at Toledo Bend. That gorgeous piece of property he's got, man. You want to buy 20 acres, build your family's dream home? First South Farm Credit can help you do it. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, no matter where you are in Louisiana. As a matter of fact, you want to buy land in any of the lower 48. Can't help you in Hawaii or Alaska, but anywhere in the lower 48, you want to buy land, First South Farm Credit can help. And they've been through it all since 1916. They're a Louisiana company. You want to do business with someone who lives where you live, works where you work, talks like you talk, you can do it. You want to buy that hunting property in Mississippi or Texas or right here at home, you could do it. Maybe some we see a lot as people live in New Orleans. They want to maybe move to the North Shore and then commute into the city so you can work in the city but have the rural lifestyle. Got an office there in Tangipahoa Parish right there in Amite. It's First South Farm Credit. Go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. All right, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Offensive lineman Ashley Walker committed to Arkansas, 6'7", 290. I dare you to make fun of him for his name being Ashley. 6'7", 290. Whew. 15th commit for the class of 2026. Picked Arkansas over Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Pitt, Syracuse, and UCF. Razorbacks, 17th ranked class nationally.
The Missouri Tigers.
Tim Jamison, remember him? He stepped down as Missouri's pitching coach. They stunk. He was actually Missouri's head coach from 95 to 2016, and he was Carrick Jackson's first hire on the staff. When Jackson took the job back in 2023, we know Missouri had the worst season in the history of the SEC. As a matter of fact, they're just 39-71 in the last two seasons.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Outfielder Landis Davila is the first Mississippi State baseball player to announce his intent to enter the transfer portal, no doubt with more to come. Davila played in just 6 games this past season, all in non-conference play. Most recently was April 29th against Memphis. He was the number 10 player in the state of Tennessee when he signed back in 2024, but he's hitting the portal.
The Texas Longhorns.
And the Texas baseball field took damage from the storm this past week. Dish Falk Field blew through the area, 70-mile-an-hour winds. Of course, Dish Falk is set to host regionals starting this weekend, 1 p.m. on Friday. Athletic Director Chris Del Conte said they're not looking for alternative locations. They'll play the regional in Austin, but they needed to repair the center field wall immediately. Sounds like that might be important. Big hole in the center field wall. I mean, the Astros used to have that stupid foul pole in play, but a hole in the wall feels like some Little League type stuff. Like it's a Little League home run. Just hit it through the hole and just keep running.
That would actually be pretty cool if that happened.
Might actually be. If it goes through the hole in the wall and a fan picks it up, and is it a dead ball? What happens? Like, can you run through the wall, the hole in the wall, pick it up and throw it in? I don't know.
Ground rule double.
There you have it. Does around the SEC. I remember playing like YMCA ball as a kid. Can't remember which, one of the Breck parks. I can't remember which one, but there wasn't a fence. I know I hit the ceiling. There wasn't a fence, and this was probably like, when did we start playing kids pitch? Because you had like machine pitch,
like 11, 12,
then, yeah,
right, like 11, 12 years old.
Younger than that.
It's younger than that for
I think so.
10,
maybe 10.
Yeah, 10, 11.
But I had this black and gold Easton bat. It was before we went to like the fat barrel bats, like the skinny barrel bat. And I remember hitting a ball. We played in one of these fields that didn't have a fence. So, like, if you hit it past the outfielder,
just go.
You're just gone.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And I was fat and slow. Still am fat and slow. I'm not quite as fat anymore.
What's that? I wouldn't say fat.
I'm not so fat anymore, but slow. So those are fun. The over-the-fence homers are better. Feels better.
Definitely.
You just catch the trot, you know.
I'd say not as winded. You don't get as winded.
Yeah. You can kind of pimp them, too.
Yeah. A little bad flip.
I don't think I ever pimped a home run. And PE, yes.
Well, natural.
You know what I mean? In PE, for sure. In a game, like a real game now. All right. What else was I supposed to do? Oh, the Big Ten thing. All right, my apologies. I was supposed to get to that here. So, the gigantic conversation coming out of the SEC spring meetings has been the future of scheduling. We spent a good chunk of the show yesterday. Muse, by the way, please check on our poll results from yesterday. I want to circle back to that because there was two components of it. It's should the SEC go to the 9-game schedule or stay at 8? By the way, shout out Chris Marler, who covers the SEC for us over at LouisianaSports.net. Has a really good column up about the future of, I'm looking for it here. If you go to the to teams at the drop down, hit SEC News, you'll see it. Is a really good column up over at LouisianaSports.net if you want to find it. It's about the SEC schedule debate. Very long, thorough, thoughtful. If you want to go give it a read, I'd recommend it. But the question is, do you stick at 8? Do you go to 9? What about the Big Ten component of it that's been discussed? But a giant part of it is what happens with the college football playoff, because I can't see a world where the SEC expands its schedule to 9 without an expanded college football playoff with certain guarantees for the SEC to have inclusion, because you're not going to guarantee your league more losses without a guarantee of inclusion in the playoff. Well, the Big Ten has now in turn responded to the SEC's uncertainty about a football scheduling future. We will get to what the Big Ten said after the break.
AFR.
Love telling you about the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, the Renaissance Southtown. Of course, right there, Southtown is what they call that area on Bluebonnet near I-10. That's where you'll find the Renaissance, gorgeous, sprawling hotel. I tell you all the time, if you're thinking about having an event, whatever type of event it may be, from something that needs as many as 500 people in their grand ballroom. I've been to awards banquets and fundraisers and different galas there at the Renaissance in their grand ballroom. When we had our launch party for LouisianaSports.net with 50 to 100 clients, we used the space right in front of Tallulah in that little forum area. It was gorgeous. They set a little riser. I did my show right there. They had a portable bar that they wheeled in. The point is, whenever I talk to Allison Crump over at Renaissance, she always says, we're in the business of saying yes. We can manipulate our space for whatever event you have to accommodate wedding receptions. It's the Renaissance Hotel. Of course, Tallulah inside the Renaissance as well, always a great option. Check them out, Renaissance Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, We know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner-Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner-Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
As always, we appreciate our friends over at Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Business that was born out of COVID when people needed in-home care. And Blasia Rivette, who I've told you many times before, she was a CV nurse, took care of Drew many times when he was a baby. Awesome people from end-of-life care, newborn, coming home. Maybe you've gotten a diagnosis of some type of critical illness. If you need, maybe you're caring for an elderly parent. If you need in-home nursing care, Decision Critical can help. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. DecisionCriticalBR.com. All the conversation this week about the future of SEC scheduling, Ross Dellinger from Yahoo caught up with sources. I need a sources drop. I don't know what we use. Maybe like the Chung Chung from Law and Order. When I say sources, go like Chung Chung.
We could workshop that.
All right, let's do this.
I think I have that actually somewhere in my folder.
According to sources.
Chung Chung. See, it's not the same.
But I still like it. I have to
Okay.
So Big Ten athletic directors, according to Dellinger, discussed the potential college football playoff model that would include 5 auto bids for conference champions and 11 at-large bids, so the 5-11 model. But many ADs in the Big Ten said they would not support that model if the SEC remains at 8 conference games. Now, the SEC is mulling moving to a 9-game conference schedule. The Big Ten already plays 9 conference games. They have since 2017. And I think this is obviously relevant because the Big Ten and the SEC are going to have autonomy over whatever the future playoff format is. That is to say, whatever the SEC and the Big Ten say is what's going to happen because they will not need unanimity. They will, to say it another way, they won't need a unanimous vote from all the conferences. And whatever they say will go. In this case, the tail won't be wagging the dog, as was the case with the seeding, where you had to have a unanimous approval, and the SEC and the Big Ten were standing there on an island, but they flexed their muscle and said, no, this is how it's going to be, or there will be consequences in the future. And so everyone agreed to go along with it. The only thing that could break that apart is if the two at the top don't agree, and that would be the SEC and the Big Ten. So Big Ten's already at 9. They're essentially saying to the SEC, hey, we're not going to do the 5-11 model if you stay at 8 conference games. Follow me here. Because if you go to 11 at-large bids and the SEC stays at 8 league games, in essence, what's happening is the Big Ten teams are playing one more Big Ten game, guaranteeing a loss for half their league. The SEC teams are playing one more non-conference game, either a G5 or an FCS opponent, which it's very rare that you're ever going to lose those games. Therein giving the SEC teams a greater chance at more participation in a 16-team field with 11 at-large berths. So the Big Ten's saying, look, 5-11 could work, but not if y'all stay at 8 games. Because if y'all stay at 8 games, we ain't doing that. in which case you'd probably be looking at the 4-4-2-2 model. 4 auto bids for the SEC, 4 auto bids for the Big Ten, 2 for the ACC, 2 for the Big 12, and then you'd have the rest at large. So I understand that it feels like there's like lines being drawn in the sand here, but I actually don't disagree at all with the Big Ten, because I'd like to see, like, if the shoe was on the other foot, wouldn't we be saying the same thing? I mean, they've been playing 9 league games since 2017 as it is. It's time the SEC actually adjusts its schedule, its scheduling format to be more appropriate. You are now a 16-team league. Even at 14, you stuck at 8. Now you're at 16. You have got to expand your schedule to be more representative of your league and of what college football has become. So, yes, the SEC needs to expand their schedule to 9, but it has to make sense for the playoff, and the TV revenue has to be there as well. ESPN has said they will play ball there with the TV revenue. We'll see what it means for the playoff. But this is going to be transformative. Like, this isn't going away, because this is going to set the future for how college football is structured for the next decade plus, potentially. So we'll know something. Greg Sankey has set December 1st as his arbitrary deadline. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Brought to you by Parish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor, the patented non-toxic dry fog treatment that we tell you about every single day. You need to fog your office building, your home, church, school, workout facility, your vehicle. You want to kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. Maybe you got a virus going through the entire office. Have them come in, they'll fog it, take care of everything. And again, you're not pulling up carpet, cutting sheetrock. It's a patented non-toxic dry fog. It's Parish Restoration. ParishRestoration.com. Okay, SportsCenter's coming up. Then, could Kirk Cousins go to the Saints?
AFR.
All right, we're putting a button here on hour number 1. Ton to get to. We could have Jimmy Burrow next hour as well. Joe Burrow's got a Joe Burrow Foundation event in Baton Rouge this weekend. We're expecting maybe Jimmy Burrow to join us once he lands here in Louisiana. We are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters as well. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Man, last night, I don't know if you saw that awful, nasty weather. I mean, the wind was whipping. I mean, it was dark clouds. And, hurricane season, I'm not sure if you've looked at the calendar. Hurricane season starts June 1. That's just a couple of days away. So with hurricane season upon us, remember, those impact-resistant windows from Relief Windows, those are Miami-Dade Cat 5 approved, meaning, like, you won't have to worry about flying debris, hitting your window, intrusion into your home. It's an extra layer of safety. Check it out today. ReliefWindows.com. ReliefWindows.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The NBA Finals and Stanley Cup final matchups could be set tonight. Pacers with a commanding 3-1 lead visit the Knicks. Game 5 of the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals. 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. New York center Karl Anthony Towns questionable with a left knee contusion. ESPN NBA analyst Michael Wilbon.
If Karl Anthony Towns is reduced or absent, the Knicks, to me, have little to no chance. Little to none. You can't take another primary and maybe the second most important player on the team, probably, away from a team that's already spent and expect them to beat the Pacers tonight. I don't.
Indiana small forward Aaron Nesmith questionable with a right ankle sprain. Thunder awaiting the series winner in the NBA Finals. Oilers have their first chance to clinch the NHL's West Final when they visit the Stars in Game 5, 8 Eastern ESPN. Series winner faces the Panthers in the Stanley Cup Final. Edmonton defenseman Matthias Ekholm set to return from an undisclosed injury. NFL, the Dolphins have engaged in trade discussions with the Steelers involving tight end Jonnu Smith, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, the Thunder steamrolled their way to the finals. I'll tell you why we should get used to them being in the finals for years to come. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's rock! Go!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Kendall Rogers, 1 hour from right now. We are 1 day away from regional baseball. Everything you need to know from around the country. We'll get to that 1 hour with Kendall Rogers. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Sean Fazende will be here next hour as well. Saints wrapped up OTAs today, the second week of OTAs, and media was allowed to watch practice and media availability afterwards. So we'll get to a lot of what they saw with Sean coming up next hour. We're moving closer now to the calendar flipping to June. No kid, Matt. I have a calendar. I see it on my phone every day. Right. Well, in the NFL, June 1st is a very notable day because most contracts are structured to where you often hear the designation about post-June 1 cuts, trades, releases, things like that. And effectively, why you wait, why there's a structure to wait until post-June 1 is it doesn't give you the necessary cap relief that you may covet as a team before the start of the league year where you have to be within cap compliance. So, for example, Kirk Cousins, his contract, he signed a 4-year, $180 million deal with the Atlanta Falcons, $50 million signing bonus, $100 million guaranteed. $100 million guaranteed. He played 14 games last year for Atlanta. Man. When you look at what's on the books for the Falcons, and his dead cap number for 2025 is $75 million. Now, post June 1 release, that dead number goes down to $50 million. That is still a massive haul against your cap for someone that's not going to play. But it is $25 million against your cap for a player that you don't anticipate having. So when you look at post-June 1, as it pertains to Kirk Cousins, the question for the Falcons is, do you keep Kirk Cousins on your roster as a malcontent because he wants to be a starter? I mean, he's later in his career. He's a guy that's 36 years old. He'll turn 37 in August. Knows he doesn't have a lot of runway left. Wants to go somewhere where he can play and where he can win. Okay? Those options may not be readily available for Kirk Cousins. But one thing's for certain, as long as he's there in Atlanta, it's Michael Penix's show now. So Kirk Cousins wants out, and the Falcons have a decision to make. Do you grant him that and let him go try to find a place to be a starter where he can play and win, or do you let him sit on the bench behind Michael Penix, maybe as a mentor? And I don't know what Atlanta is going to do. I don't cover the Falcons on a day-to-day basis. I don't have ins within that front office. I don't know. I'm just telling you candidly. I don't know what they're going to do. But CBS had a piece up today listing potential cut and trade, post-June 1 cut and trade candidates. And the first one on the list was Kirk Cousins. And they note Kirk Cousins was a no-show for the start of voluntary OTAs. And he wants a fresh start. As I mentioned, they could save $27.5 million by trading Cousins after June 1st or cutting him. But the real question would be if there's a trade partner. And that's the challenge because, as we often say with trades, you can say you want to trade someone, but you're not just trading for the player, you're trading for the player and the contract. So would another team give Atlanta an asset to take on the remainder of Kirk Cousins' contract? Highly unlikely. They're not going to find a trade partner. So Atlanta's got two options. One, you keep Kirk Cousins as a very, very expensive backup, or you release him. You're now pot committed to Michael Penix. You move on with whatever your quarterback room is going to look like behind Penix, and Cousins has an opportunity to go sign somewhere else. I mentioned this CBS piece. The reason it's interesting is because they do mention potential landing spots as the Saints and the Steelers. And the prediction is that the Falcons will release him, and then he'll sign with the Saints. Now, that's Cody Benjamin over at CBS. That's just one person's opinion. I don't know necessarily that I think there's a tremendous amount of validity to that. And if you're Kirk Cousins, it would certainly stand to reason that you would be more interested in playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers than the New Orleans Saints, because the Pittsburgh Steelers at least are a team that is more stable, more talented, right there around 500. Maybe he could be the thing that pushes them from that 500 record to the 11-12 win season that gets them into the playoffs, and maybe they make a run. I'm not saying I believe Kirk Cousins can or will do that. I'm just saying that's a better option, if available, than to quarterback the New Orleans Saints. Again, that'll all play out how it may. The question to us is, if you're the Saints, would you want Kirk Cousins? By now, you probably know where I fall on this, and the answer is a resounding absolutely. Now, the caveat is, what is the cost? To be abundantly clear, I am not okay trading for Kirk Cousins. I am not okay giving up an asset to Atlanta to take on an aging veteran player. One of my big mantras this whole offseason about the Saints is you need to purge the aging, expensive players and get younger and more affordable. That's how you fix the cap. That's ultimately how you fix your roster. You get younger and less expensive instead of older and expensive. So, that's why I didn't love the Justin Reed signing. I think Justin Reed's a much better safety than anything you had. But you got older and expensive. I want to get younger and less expensive. And that means you're going to stink for a little while, but I'm okay with that because you have to go through it. It's like Andy Dufresne crawling through 300 yards of the most vile stuff you could ever imagine, but that old Mexican island's on the other end that he went to and sanding his boat until Red came and joined him. Shawshank. Anyway, you get the point. You got to be willing to take 2 steps back to take 10 steps forward. So I'm okay with the Saints stinking this year. I don't think they are, but I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I'm not going to sit here and crush them when they lose every week because I understand what they got to go through. Now, so all that to say, I'm not good giving up an asset for Kirk Cousins, but if the Falcons release him and you can go do a manageable 1-year deal for Kirk Cousins, maybe similar to something that we've seen Russ's deal with the Giants. Look at any other aging veteran right now and say, what does their contract look like on a short-term deal? I could easily stomach that for a year, and not only stomach it, I think that's a better option. I mean, I was the one who sat here and said, I am all for signing Aaron Rodgers. And I get it, you're going to roll your eyes about that because of the perception and the darkness retreats and all the stuff that goes along with it. But Aaron Rodgers is a future Hall of Famer. And if I could have him in a quarterback room with my young quarterback that I think is going to be my franchise, I want that mentorship. The same he gave to Jordan Love. The same we talked about that Drew Brees got from Doug Flutie. Yes, I want that. Patrick Mahomes got to sit and watch Alex Smith for a year before he had to go start. I think that could be invaluable for Tyler Shuck and maybe even for Spencer Rattler. So yes, you give me a guy like Kirk Cousins who's 13 years into his NFL career, has started 159 games. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He was a guy who himself was a mid-round pick of Washington and had to constantly prove himself. Washington kept franchise tagging him. They wouldn't commit to him. Finally, he goes to Minnesota. They do. He becomes a franchise quarterback in Minnesota. You give me that guy for a year to help my young guys learn and grow and develop? Yeah, I'll take that. By the way, Russ's contract with the Giants is a 1-year, $10.5 million deal. If the Saints could get Kirk Cousins on a 1-year, $10.5 million deal like the Giants gave Russ to bring some veteran leadership stability to your quarterback room, hell yeah, sign me up immediately. So I don't know that Atlanta's going to release him. And even if they do, I don't know that the Saints would be at the top of his list. But if Atlanta releases Kirk Cousins, and if he's willing to sign in New Orleans, then New Orleans should absolutely sign Kirk Cousins because you have to put a veteran presence in that quarterback room. I suppose you don't have to. I mean, you can go into it this way. But it would greatly benefit you, not just on the field in 2025, but long-term as well, giving these young quarterbacks a little bit of a boost as they start their career instead of dumping the weight of the expectation of an entire franchise on a rookie with a new coach and a bad roster around him. Yes, I would welcome Kirk Cousins on a 1-year deal to New Orleans if Atlanta cuts him. And how much would he want to stick it to Atlanta the 2 times you played? All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana. Hey, Memorial Day just passed. Of course, you got June here. Some of you might be making the trek up to Omaha in a few weeks. Knock on Formica. And 4th of July is around the corner. Beach trips are here. Make sure your vehicle is summer road trip ready. Shaw Bills can help. Tire rotations, the check engine lights on, the brakes squeaking. Maybe there's just oil change, standard maintenance you've been negligent on. Shaw Bills can help. Or if you need to buy tires, name brand tires at wholesale prices, that's Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review, trucking along here in this Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. You can always email us, tweet us, or text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways that you can get involved in the show if you'd like to do so. A couple of LSU football news notes I want to get to, including a couple of kickoff times for LSU football games this fall that have been announced. We'll get to that as we continue on AFR.
AFR.
If you want to feel like your younger self, and who wouldn't, right? If I told you there was a way you could roll out of bed in the morning feeling like you did in your 20s, you could get in the gym and burn fat and build muscle like you did when you were in your 20s. There's a way that you could safely and affordably make yourself feel like you did. The mental clarity, the energy, everything, the libido, like you did when you were in your 20s. Oh, by the way, it's affordable, it's safe, no contracts. Would you do it? Of course you would. That's hormone replacement therapy. Cardiovascular health, prostate health, mental clarity, energy, focus, libido, all of those things are benefits, known benefits of hormone replacement therapy. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. Yes, they do ED treatments. They do other awesome treatments as well. BPC 157, NAD plus therapy. Learn more. Live your fullest. YourGoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit YourGoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Our Rad Dad contest is back and bigger than ever. Roaming Shot Outdoors and Citizens Bank and Trust bring you Dad's favorite gifts. A green egg, thanks to Goodwood Hardware, a steak pack from Chris's Specialty Foods, manly soap from Hawk Soap, and a hunting class for 2 from Roaming Shot Outdoors. Upload pics of your dad doing dad things to 1045ESPN.com now through June 8th, and then vote June 9th through the 12th. Happy Father's Day to all those rad dads out there from 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We all genuflect at a purple and gold altar in the States. Whether you care about LSU football or not, the reality is that's the reality. Everything in the fall centers around that schedule. When LSU plays, when they kick off, that's how people plan childbirth and weddings and all different types of things. So we all need to know when LSU is going to play football. We learned already that LSU and Clemson are going to kick off on August 30th, primetime ABC. So that's a night game. Well, it's a road game, but still a night game. And on a Thursday, ESPN and the SEC Network revealed 3 weeks of games. The first 3 weeks, all of the kickoff times and television networks for the first 3 weeks. So now we know the kick times and network for LSU against Louisiana Tech and LSU against Florida. And you will all be very thrilled to know that both games against Louisiana Tech and Florida will kick off at 6:30 p.m. in Tiger Stadium. The game against Louisiana Tech, the home opener, will be on ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus. It'll be stream only, which is a little odd, candidly. I would think that LSU and Louisiana Tech would garner a terrestrial network. And then Florida, the Florida game, will be on ABC at 6:30 p.m. Remember, as we previously learned, that is the game where LSU is going to retire Charles Alexander's jersey. So there's going to be a lot going on that week, and should be really exciting. Florida coming in. I mean, September is early for Florida to be here, but it's still a very exciting time, and good to learn that there's going to be a couple of more night games in Tiger Stadium. And I want to remind you, a couple of weeks ago, I was in Chicago at Barrett Sports Media, and I had the chance to ask Burke Magnus from ESPN, who, if you're not familiar, that's okay. Burke is, I'll oversimplify it. Burke is the guy who decides what games go on what networks at what time. Basically takes all the programming, the live sports programming that ESPN has, and he determines what goes on what network at what time. And naturally, I had this opportunity with this guy sitting there to ask a question in this forum. And so I asked him about LSU wanting to play night games and how they go about deciding that. And I want the cut about the night games. So this is kind of what and by the way, he gave about a full 3.5 minute answer. It was very thoughtful and thorough, and I appreciate it very much. But this was the part about LSU and night games.
What we sold the SEC on is, hey, we're going to have 3 windows most weeks on ABC plus primetime on ESPN, and we're not going to approach it the way CBS did. Like, the number one game is not necessarily at 3:30. And by the way, the SEC is so deep that you can't really distinguish between the number 1 game and the number 2 game or even the number 3 game. So we're much more focused on what works for local fan bases. Not every single time, because it would be impossible, but we know that LSU wants to play at night, and they're going to get the preponderance of that.
So I mentioned that it's a little surprising that LSU and Tech is on Plus, right? So they're not on a linear network, meaning, cable channel or an over-the-air channel. They're on streaming only against Louisiana Tech. But this is the trade. You could play early in the day and be on one of the linear networks. For example, at 11:45 Central on September the 6th, Utah State plays Texas A&M on the SEC network. I think we'd all agree LSU Louisiana Tech is a better game than A&M Utah State. But look at the night slate. You've got the night slate that's on the linear networks. Michigan at Oklahoma. That's on ABC. You're not bumping them. Arizona State at Mississippi State. Power matchup, including a playoff team. They're on ESPN2. Ball State at Auburn is on ESPNU. That's the one you could put a star next to. And ULM is at Alabama on the SEC network. So here's the trade that I would tell you. If I told you you could play that game against Tech at 6:30, but 6:30 p.m. in Tiger Stadium, but it's stream only. Or you could play at 11, 2:30, 3, whatever, and be on a linear TV network, what would you pick? I think the answer is obvious, right? I don't think there's anybody here who would say, give me 11 a.m. Now, there's some people who just like to go night-night a little early. You don't want to be up late, and I get that. But I'm just talking about for what we as fans covet, it's less about what network the game is on. ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN Plus. Like, we're going to find the game. Like, you got an old parent, a grandparent that doesn't know how the damn Roku works or the YouTube TV. It doesn't matter. Like, someone will help them out before the week starts and show them how to do it. And they'll watch the game. Like, of course, you just want the game at night. We've all become accustomed now. I remember this is so interesting, too, that the timing of this, because I remember whenever ESPN started carrying all of the regional games, like across the whole country, it moved away from the local networks, the local production companies carrying regional games. For years, Ronnie Rance, his Jumbo Sports Network, for those who remember, JSN, would air the regional games. They'd buy the rights as a contractor. They'd pay for the rights. They'd air the games. They'd sell the advertising. All that stuff would air on a local channel. Well, when ESPN came in and started airing all this, so many of the games moved to stream. And 10 years ago, whatever, maybe about 10, 11, 12 years ago, whatever that was, and all the games, a lot of the games went to stream. People melted because, I mean, we've all become accustomed to that now. But a decade ago, that wasn't the case. A year ago, like, it's a constant evolution as we're all learning OTT, over-the-top television, streaming. But that wasn't the case 10, 12 years ago. So people melted. And the whole thing was you'd rather have every single game available to stream than not have every single game available to watch. So for a little bit of inconvenience of where the game's going to be, you get the massive convenience of a kickoff time that you want in Tiger Stadium, or in baseball, having the option to watch literally every single game. It wasn't always that way, where you could watch a Tuesday night game against McNeese. Now you can. So a net positive. And I think we're going to see a schedule where, look, last year LSU played one-day game. It was the UCLA game. And I think they probably learned their lesson with people falling out as hot as it was in September. I'm not saying there won't be any day games in Tiger Stadium, but, I mean, you've cleared a couple of hurdles already. And when you look late in the season, like when Western Kentucky comes in here, that's a garbage weekend that everyone loads up with awful games before their rivalries. And they've shown, look, you can load that thing up on a streaming platform and put it at night. That's what LSU wants. And the guy in charge of all this said, I'm very well aware LSU wants to play at night. We do our best to accommodate the local markets. And actions speak louder than words. Well, here you go. LSU's playing Tech at 6:30. It's going to be stream only. Could have put it on TV. Look, South Florida's playing Florida at 3:15 on the SEC network. Could have been there. Rather be at night? Okay. Put you on stream. Utah State against Texas A&M, SEC network. San Jose State at Texas, 11:45 Central. No, forgive me, 11 a.m. Central. San Jose State at Texas. That's going to be on ABC or ESPN. LSU Tech could have been there, but you played 11 a.m. You don't want that? Fine. You're going to be on a stream. I'm here for it, man. I think most of you would agree. All right, it's after further review. Man, so thrilled with the response we've had, our new partnership with Our Lady of the Lake. Most people know Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center on Essen in Baton Rouge, but my goodness, they are so much grander than that. Our Lady of the Lake is a part of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, a multi-state, massive health system with, of course, the Regional Medical Center on Essen, the standalone children's hospitals, clinics all over the state and the South. It's Our Lady of the Lake Championship Health Partner with LSU, and you can get the same great health care that the LSU athletes do. That same great health care is available to you and to me every single day. It's Our Lady of the Lake. You can learn more about the Championship Health Partnership between LSU and Our Lady of the Lake online, ololrmc.com/LSU. That's ololrmc.com/LSU if you care to learn more. Told you my personal health story with Our Lady of the Lake throughout the years, from being a Kid and Key Club at Catholic High, volunteering at the Ronald McDonald Playroom inside of the old Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital when it was on the third floor of the Essen campus, to taking part in so many of the fundraising efforts as they were raising funds for the standalone Children's Hospital, to many of the specialists that Drew sees now at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, how my family is taking advantage of that amazing facility, to my own personal doctor, Dr. Curtis Chastain at Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Clinic. It's been a part of me, and I'm thrilled with this partnership and to have Our Lady of the Lake as a partner of ours here on AFR. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. It's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Muse will get the Tigers and the Pros in about 15 minutes from right now. Kendall Rogers in 30 minutes. We'll go through the regionals with Kendall. And Sean Fazende was out at Saints OTAs earlier today. We will get to what Sean saw out there. When we come back, Kellen Moore spoke to reporters after OTAs. We'll touch on that a bit. And a pretty seismic decision from the National Football Foundation today that's going to affect the Hall of Fame status for guys like Mike Leach and Les Miles. I want to talk about that as we continue. It's AFR.
AFR.
Glow Resources. Another day, another opportunity to remind you about our friends over at Glow Resources. Check them out online, glowresources.com. GLO, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions. Glow finds the right people to make you more effective. If you are tired of hiring people that are unreliable, people that are too slow to do the job right, Glow's going to find the people that work hard, that show up on time. They're going to ask the right questions of the prospective employee when they're going through that process to make sure they get you the right person. And when it comes to their professional placement division, maybe you're looking for white-collar employees. They can make a move for an employee, to a customer when the customer may fall short. The customer, you're focused on your business. Glow is focused on hiring. They do 50 interviews a day, more than 15,000 interviews a year. They know the right questions to ask. GLO, glowresources.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
This is going to rock the boat for some of y'all. By the way, shout out Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. A new service they're offering is a therapeutic phlebotomy. A lot of men, you might be on hormone replacement therapy. As a result, your doctor recommends you give blood regularly if that's you, and try to go into the doctor, scheduling appointments, blood clinics, or different things like that. Decision Critical will come to you. Your home, your office takes about 30 minutes. So if you need to give blood as part of your hormone replacement therapy treatment, Decision Critical, they'll come to you. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. This is probably going to rock the boat with some. And I know when you read the headline, a lot of people are going to recoil. I've already seen it today. But I wrote a column. It's up right now at LouisianaSports.net. And the headline reads, Les Miles deserving of Hall of Fame election. And I believe that firmly. Some of you have said, okay, it feels like you have a gun to your head and someone's forcing you to write this or say this. I'm not. I swear. I've said this, and this has long been my stance on Les Miles. This is only coming up today because today the National Football Foundation, which is the body responsible for electing people to the College Football Hall of Fame, made a change in what was previously an arbitrary metric they had set up to determine criteria for election. If you're a coach vying for election to the College Football Hall of Fame, you have to, over your career, have achieved a winning percentage cumulatively of 600. Les Miles, for his career, was at 667 when LSU vacated 37 wins from that era because of the Vidal-Alexander situation. Les Miles' winning percentage dropped to 559. Excuse me, 599, like right below the threshold. I mean, just below the threshold, which made him ineligible for the College Football Hall of Fame. Les filed a lawsuit against LSU, the NCAA, the NFF, trying to get that changed. This all stems from what happened in the Vidal-Alexander case, and his contention was he never had his day in court. A judge a few months ago threw out the case against LSU, didn't know what course of action Les might have had moving forward. Well, now he doesn't need the courts because the NFF lowered that threshold. And it doesn't just apply to Les Miles. It also applies to someone like Mike Leach, who I think we can all agree, who coached at Texas Tech and Washington State and Mississippi State, perennial doormat programs, and made all of them relevant. One got Texas Tech within a breath of the national championship. Mike Leach is, in every world, is a College Football Hall of Famer. But because of that arbitrary criteria, fell just below the threshold. And so they changed it. Now, I know how this is received by some. You're going to look at Les Miles and go, the weird syntax, the goofy hat high on his head, eating grass, all that stuff. You're going to talk about the archaic offense, the unwillingness to change, the bad clock management, and all of that is true. All of it. Also true is the fact that Les Miles won a national championship. He played for another championship in what was at the time the most dominant season in the history of LSU football. He should have won a second championship, but for Alabama getting a do-over they did not deserve after LSU beat them in their place. How much different is the conversation about Les Miles if Nick Saban didn't, and conversation about Nick Saban, if he didn't get the do-over in 2011? Revisionist history, it happened. We know it happened. Les won 2 SEC titles, played for a third. Won 80% of his games while the LSU coach, not only in a league, but in a division where he had to stare at the greatest coach in the history of the game, who used to be the LSU coach, every single year. 6 of Les Miles' regular season SEC losses came to Nick Saban. How different is it if you're not staring at Nick Saban? Or another way to look at it, look at every other coach in the SEC West at that time and how they fared. Les beat Nick Saban 3 times. He took over a floundering Oklahoma State, and after the first year being sub 500, he had 3 straight winning seasons. Should he have gone to Kansas? Probably not. He was old and wanted to scratch the itch. Don't blame him. Went 3-18 in his 2 seasons at Kansas. The bottom line is also, when you look at the list of College Football Hall of Fame coaches, Charles McClendon's on that list. Les Miles won more games in fewer seasons than Charles McClendon. Won a national championship, played for another, won 2 SEC titles. It's a better resume than Charles McClendon, who's in it. R.C. Slocum never won a national championship. He's in there. Les Miles has more wins than R.C. Slocum, too. Barry Alvarez. Les Miles has more wins than Barry Alvarez. Les's mentor, Bill McCartney from Colorado, is in the College Football Hall of Fame. Les has more wins than Bill McCartney. Les has more wins than Newt Rockne. You realize that? I get it. Newt Rockne died in a plane crash when he was young. But if you do blind resume, take the name and the funny hat off of it, do blind resume, Les Miles is a shoo-in, cakewalk, slam dunk, College Football Hall of Famer. Look at the list. There's 214 coaches in the College Football Hall of Fame. Les Miles, just on wins, is better than half of them. And he's got a national title. And he played for another. And. The resume is completely deserving of being in the College Football Hall of Fame. Now, the black eye, there's 2 of them. One is the vacation of the wins. And my point is going to be, we all, every one of us, Muse, Paul, me, every one of you listening, sat here and lambasted the Heisman Trust for stripping Reggie Bush of his Heisman. And we all of us, rallied behind him to get it back. Because we all look and go, you mean you took that dude's Heisman Trophy away and everybody's getting paid today? It's stupid. It's like if someone got a life sentence for smoking weed when weed's legal in half the country right now. Calm down, Muse. Sorry. Like, times change. So, a booster paid for Vidal Alexander's dad to have a no-show job. Oh, the horror. That is going to cost Les Miles the College Football Hall of Fame? It's stupid. It's nonsensical. Throw that away. And if you want to talk about the Title IX lawsuit and the allegations therein, I'm not here to tell you definitively what role Les Miles did or did not have in that. What I do know is this, that lawsuit was settled and Les Miles never had his day in court. And we live in a country where there is a presumption of innocence until guilt is proven. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to pretend to know what happened. I am not absolving Les Miles of wrongdoing. I am not absolving Les Miles of wrongdoing. I'm also not convicting him right now. And if he is guilty of what was accused, that still should not preclude him from being in a Football Hall of Fame. The same Hall of Fame, by the way, that has Joe Paterno in it. A man who knew one of his assistant coaches was molesting children, hid it, and kept him on staff for 3 decades. Let's get real here for a second. You want to talk about OJ? I go down the list of bad women and men in lots of different Hall of Fames who are bad people. Ty Cobb, noted overt racist, one of the greatest players ever in the Baseball Hall of Fame. There's a lot of awful people in Halls of Fame that were great at what they did and deserve to be in the Hall of Fame for their craft. I don't know what Les Miles didn't do, what he's accused of. I don't know. What I do know is that shouldn't preclude him from being in a Hall of Fame. In the College Football Hall of Fame, where there are 214 other coaches, more than half of which don't have nearly the resume he does. So you can make fun of the syntax, a hand that is reminiscent of ball security. I sat through so many of his press conferences. I get it. I watched 2009 Ole Miss in the Clockett game. I watched Tennessee in 2010. I was there January 9, 2012. Saw it all. Was also there when he won a national championship. Was also there the whole way in 2011 when they had the most dominant team. Was there when he had the humility after 2008 to blow out the Malvito experience, to bring in John Chavis, to refocus on defense, build the roster back up, which, by the way, after 9, 10, 11, they were back with that dominant team. I've talked to so many guys that played for him, that respect him, revered him, talk about his ability as a recruiter. Think about the coaching staff that Ed Ogeron inherited that had on it Dave Aranda, who Les Miles hired, Corey Raymond, who Les Miles hired, Steve Ensminger, who Les Miles hired, Ed Ogeron, who Les Miles hired. That dude belongs. He and his hat belong in the College Football Hall of Fame. I don't care what you think about him as a person, as a coach, clock management, the way he talked, eat grass, all that stuff. For a decade, he was one of the great characters in college football, and he won at a clip worthy of being in the College Football Hall of Fame. All the other stuff, you can have that conversation all you want. I'm not here to tell you what to think. The entire body of work is out there. You can think what you want. You can be pissed off to the day you die about January 9th, and I don't blame you. I also don't think Alabama had not a single ounce of worth being in that game, because the guy that you're saying should be out went to Tuscaloosa and beat him 9-6 in overtime. Shouldn't have got the do-over. They got a mulligan. How different is the conversation if Les Miles is playing Oklahoma State on January 9th and 2011 blows the door off of him? He's a two-time national champion. But it's not. It's what it is. The body of work is what it is. And the body of work is plenty good enough for election to the College Football Hall of Fame. It's where he should be, and I hope will be, especially after the NFF did the right thing today. And by the way, Mike Leach should be in as well. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out our final break of hour number 2. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros next.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area: Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local, Clegg's Nursery. Tigers play at 1 o'clock tomorrow, so provided they win, that means they'll have a awesome prime time marble game on Saturday, meaning Saturday you can go get out in the lawn, get out in the yard, get some stuff done, check off those honeydews. Remember, over at Clegg's Nursery, golly, these yellow sunflowers are just gorgeous. They got plenty of those over at Clegg's Nursery right now. Get by the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs, whatever plant you may need. And maybe, y'all, maybe what you need is to keep the unwanted pests away. They got ant killer. They've got snake away. They've got the Aeon mosquito barriers that I tell you about all the time. Way more expensive than other mosquito abatement treatments, and way more effective as well. They got them at Clegg's Nursery. So get on by any of the 4 locations. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt,
you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
As a reminder, AFR Friday, we will be live at Walk-Ons Burbank, the original Walk-Ons, there with our friends from Mockler Beverage and Bud Light. There'll be great drink specials on Bud Light, Neutral. Really looking forward to being out there. They're going to have a big inflatable projection TV out in the parking lot. There'll be live music starting at 6 p.m. as soon as AFR is done. So if you need a place to watch LSU in Little Rock, or you're going to the game or want a place to hang out after, make sure you get by Walk-Ons Burbank. Really looking forward to being out there tomorrow. We will be live. I know we're going to overlap with the game, but part of the show will be companion show of sorts during the game, and as soon as it ends, we're basically de facto post-game show. So make sure you're locked into AFR from 3 to 6, just like we always are on Friday. We'll be at Walk-Ons on Burbank. Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
So earlier this week, during Tigers in the Pros, we talked about Griffin Herring because he got just another honor from the Florida State League. This one was his second Pitcher of the Week award to go along with the April Pitcher of the Month award. And now Griffin Herring is no longer in the Florida State League. Because he's been called up to High A.
Hey!
The Yankees make the promotion. Griffin Herring, 33%. That's how many batters he struck out that he faced. 33% of the batters he faced punched out in the Florida State League. A 1.21 ERA now. Hudson Valley, the High A affiliate of the New York Yankees.
Say it with me, Muse. Let's go, Yankees.
I will not say that.
Let's go, Yankees.
No. I will not say that. I will, however, root for Griffin Herring's success because he wore purple and gold. Josh Smith.
Well, I like this one, Muse. This is a good day today
He
so
once
far.
played at Hudson Valley when he was in the Yankees organization. 1 out of 2 a night ago. Also drew a couple of walks. Really productive night at the top of the order. He was stranded all 3 of the times he was on base, though. Rangers got shut out. That's a big part of the reason why.
I think yesterday was also the Josh Smith LSU day at the ballpark.
Was
so
it
they
really?
gave it. Well, we were supposed to be there for AFR. Some things happened, whatever. But
that'd have been good.
They gave. There were Josh Smith LSU Rangers jerseys, purple and gold Josh Smith Rangers jerseys.
I get it. I don't like it. Rangers, I don't like that. But I understand it. It's a great honor for Josh.
Yeah, you're stupid.
I
just said it. You're stupid.
The same people wear like the purple and gold Astros Bregman jerseys
It's
to
a
the
promotion.
box.
It's a promotion.
It's just a bad jersey.
It's a promotion.
Sorry. I like the promotion. Cool.
The team isn't wearing it.
Thank the Lord. That'd be
Team isn't wearing it.
weird.
Yeah, well, just like when the Pelicans wear the Skeletons.
Those are great.
We're in unison there. This is a promotion. I'm good with it.
All right. The Timberwolves got dominated last night. That means Nas Reed's season came to an end.
Should have stayed.
He'd still be playing. 11 points, 5 rebounds for Nas. He missed all of one shot a night ago in 24 minutes. So, I mean, he did his fault. He did his part. He did get in a little bit of foul trouble.
Words.
But it was a great year for Nas, man. He came in as the reigning sixth man of the year, followed it up with a average this season of 14-6, including playoffs. Better luck next year. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Tell you every day do business with someone you know. We do residential, of course, but also commercial roofing. I want to make sure I remind you that. Matt Pearson's our commercial roofing manager. He's awesome. I've literally not met anyone that knows more about roofing than Matt Pearson. He knows everything. It's incredible. He's like Rain Man for roofing. But got a call today, as a matter of fact. I got a message on DM from a listener, a shout out to Wes, who said, hey, would love to have Parrish come look at our office building. It's an 8-story building. The roof needs to be replaced. And he said, can y'all come on by? So Matt Pearson will be there tomorrow at like 7:30 in the morning, because of course we will. So no matter if it's, you get hail damage or water intrusion from a bad rainstorm at your home, if it's office building, I tell you all the time, man, if you have one of those metal roofs in Industriplex, especially with summer coming, we have a TPO product it's a coating product that can lower the temperature in those buildings. It'll extend the life of your roof. Let us come take a look. It's Parish Construction and Roofing. Hurricane season starts 2 days away. Be prepared. We can help. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. Oh, we've got another $10,000 cash giveaway coming up. I'm going to tell you about soon. Hey, Terrio wanted to go to 25, and we're like, hey. Simmer down now.
Let's get a few more roofs done and then talk about it.
Let's sell a couple more roofs, and then maybe we'll get to your 20. But we're about to do 10K again. Who doesn't want 10K? Cash! All right, it's after further review. Sports Center staring you straight in the face. Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. We're previewing the regionals when we come back on AFR.
After further review.
Pulled into the Guarantee parking lot today in my Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport that I got from South Point Volkswagen. And I noticed there was a black Volkswagen Tiguan. That's right, Muse. We're converting everybody at Guarantee to VW owners. And if you're going to buy a Volkswagen, you might as well go to Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, South Point Volkswagen. Remember, Southwest Volkswagen is in Lafayette. So if you're in our Southwest Louisiana audience, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Southwest Volkswagen is there for you. But sometimes it's worth a drive. If you can save, South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, more inventory, maybe the features, the color that you want for that vehicle. They got the bigger selection. Maybe it's worth a drive. Check them out online at southpointvw.com. Go check it out right now. Work out your financing. You do it all right there. southpointvw.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Only one more win stands between the Pacers and their first trip to the NBA Finals in a quarter of a century. They will try to get that win tonight in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks, 7:30 Eastern ESPN Radio. Awaiting that series winner in the finals, the Thunder, a team that could be on the verge of something big, says ESPN NBA analyst and former NBA point guard Jay Williams.
Look, I still think this OKC team is underhyped, but there is definitely a Spurs-like dynasty feel to them. No drama, no flash, no superstar celebrity energy, just inevitability. This just feels like it's a system built to last for a long time throughout the season.
NHL's West Final could end tonight. Oilers up 3-1 at the Stars. Game 5, 8 Eastern ESPN. Edmonton defenseman Matthias Ekholm set to return from an undisclosed injury. NFL, the Dolphins have engaged in trade discussions with the Steelers involving tight end Jonnu Smith. Pittsburgh OC Arthur Smith has a long-standing relationship with the tight end. Baseball, Dodgers acquired former All-Star closer Alexis Diaz from the Reds for a prospect.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right. Woo!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Saints are back on the practice field for OTAs. There was media availability. Sean Fazende was there. He'll join us in about 15 minutes. Every Thursday, we chat with Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, and we are now on the eve of the NCAA tournament beginning. Kendall, how are you, man?
I'm doing awesome, man. How about yourself?
Ready for some baseball, and naturally with regionals starting tomorrow, we'll begin with coaching news. Brian O'Connor, is this happening, Mississippi State move?
Yeah, it's very close. There were a couple of key details they're trying to work out to get a deal across the finish line, but as of right now, it's certainly pointing that direction. And it's one of those things where Brian, he's one of the, top few coaches in college baseball that are active coaches. And I always hesitate to call anything a done deal, but that one does sound really close. I think if that one is going to fall through, it's going to be because Mississippi State did not come through in a couple of details. It will not be because he doesn't want to take the job. So they're close, but we'll see if they can get past the finish line. I would say they're at the 5-yard line right now, and we'll see if they can get to the goal line.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the carousel starts spinning as teams get eliminated and all that sort of stuff. So more to talk about as we get to it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there obviously was a lot of talk about best draw, worst draw, all that sort of stuff. Just maybe a big picture reaction on what you thought about the Baton Rouge regional draw.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an LSU fan, you're loving it. I mean, I think your chances of playing in weekend 2 are pretty good. I mean, I think the one thing that's interesting is I'm assuming that Little Rock will start Jack Klein in the first game. What's interesting about him is, it will be a different look than what you're used to in the SEC. And that's one thing I think Jay Johnson will stress with his team with Little Rock is, it's going to be guys with some funky arm slots. They're not going to throw 95. A lot of these guys are going to be mid-80s, low 80s. And so it's going to be a different look. But, obviously Little Rock doesn't look like they're going to be big competition in this regional. I do think the other teams in this regional are pretty intriguing. I mean, URI, Rafael Serrato has done a really nice job up there with the Rams. They're one of those clubs they can really get going from a power standpoint. Anthony Lupino has 19 bombs this year for the Rams. And then DBU, I mean, if there's somebody who can upset the apple cart this weekend, it'd be DBU. It is not, with the DBU we're used to. If you think to kind of a traditional DBU club, you're thinking potent offense, elite pitching. Their pitching's fine with James Olinger and company, but it's not elite. And so I think it'll be interesting to see how DBU pitches. But I will say this, DBU has a deep offensive lineup. One of the things that Dan Heathner talked to me about a couple weeks ago was getting Tom Poole back in the lineup. It looks like he is back. Chayton Krause, a big-time bopper in that lineup. And, of course, Keaton Grady and Nathan Humphreys. One thing Jay Johnson will stress if they play DBU will just be not letting them get on the roll off, like on the base pass. Those two guys, haven't combined more than 30 stolen bases. They can kind of make things happen. They can be versatile, and that's what's kind of scary about DBU.
Who do you think comes out of the Clemson regional?
I like Clemson, but I'll tell you what, man. I think Kentucky is going to be the one to watch in that regional outside of the Tigers. I just think Kentucky is such a unique look. And, when you look at the ACC, there's not a lot of teams in that league. And, frankly, there's not a lot of teams in the SEC that have Kentucky style where Nick Mingione is not afraid to, try to randomly steal home. He's not afraid to randomly just steal third, with 2 outs for absolutely no reason at all. He wants to force the action. And thankfully, Clemson is a good defensive club. But again, when you're not used to playing a team like that, it can really frustrate you. So I think Kentucky's a sleeper here because I think they're good. I don't think they're great. But if they can just get Clemson rattled just a hair, don't be surprised if they won that regional.
Kendall, we talked a little bit about State, the coaching hire, that the looming hire. Obviously, they're not going to make a decision until their season ends. They're the 3 seed this weekend in Tallahassee. They got a shot? Is State a live dog, forgive the pun there, against Florida State?
They could. And what's really interesting is Justin Parker, their interim coach, they're actually starting their closer in the first game, which is a little bit of a different approach. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, if you win that first game in that regional and you're against Northeastern and you're going against Florida State with Pico Khan, that's as good as it gets for Mississippi State. So you think of that matchup, by the way, with Jamie Arnold, All-American for FSU, and Pico Khan, that's as good of a pitching match as you'll get in college baseball. So I actually do like Justin Parker switching up that rotation a bit. I'm not sure I would have started my closer, but I do like him moving his ace to Saturday because the only chance you have, I think, is to beat Florida State in that second game. I don't think Mississippi State wants to get in this situation where they're trying to beat Florida State twice to win that regional. I just don't think it's going to happen.
What about Alabama as the 2 seed in Hattiesburg?
Yeah, I mean, I do like their chances to compete for that. I mean, Miami, I think, is just an okay club. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see if Daniel Cuvée can get on a roll there for the Canes. But, when you look at USM, I think USM is very much an Omaha caliber club. I look at teams that have balance, they have leadership, they have old guys, and they've got a lot of that. They've got a, bona fide, probably first-round pick in J.D. Middleton on Friday night. Matt Adams is a really nice arm for them. You look at them offensively, Nick Montesquieu, who I kind of feel like has been in Hattiesburg for like 9 years. He's having yet another really, solid season from a power standpoint. And so I just really, really like USN's club, so I'm picking them. But, keep an eye on Alabama. If Zane Adams has a good weekend on the mound, they can make some noise. But he has just been a little shaky for me lately.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Get him on Twitter at Kendall Rogers. Who did Coastal piss off on the selection committee?
I know, right? It is kind of interesting that, as good of a season as they had as they draw Florida. What's kind of an interesting stat is on the D1 Baseball Bracket Challenge, I think we have like 16,000 bracket submissions. And of those 16,000 bracket submissions, 70% of the users picked Florida to win the Conway Regional. So just gives you an idea of going into the weekend of what people think about Florida and what people think about Coastal. But the thing about Florida that I love is that Kevin O'Sullivan, to me, the second half of the season, has done one of his best coaching jobs. And the reason why is, their pitching staff of Liam Peterson, Aiden King, and Pierce Coppola have done a phenomenal job. They've got Kate Curlin out with an injury. They've got, they've got Luke Hyman out for the year with a fractured forearm. Colby Shelton hasn't been in the lineup. And yet they just continue to win series. They won a series at then number 1 Texas. And so just really impressive the job that, Sully has done with that club.
By the way, I'm glad you mentioned that. Also, the D1 Baseball Bracket Challenge, you can go do that right now at d1baseball.com. It is free to sign up if you want to be on the Bracket Challenge. You just create an account at d1baseball.com. If you pull it, there we go. If you pull it up, it's right there on the left side on the bar, and then you just literally just create your bracket, enter your info there, and you're signed up, and you can fill out your bracket. So go to d1baseball.com. Any other upset alert, Kendall, like a regional that you're keeping a keen eye on this weekend that's interesting we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, I think Georgia with Duke and Oklahoma State. I was actually just finishing up that preview. Oklahoma State's scary to me. They have not played very consistent baseball this year. But, boy, Nolan Schubert, a premier prospect, if he gets going offensively in that little bandbox, watch out. Duke, Chris Pollard, yet again, continues to do a terrific job. And by the way, going back to the Bracket Challenge real quick, I do have LSU playing North Carolina for the national championship.
Okay. Tell me more.
Unfortunately, I did pick UNC, so don't be mad at me.
Well, you're fired.
But, that's who I think is playing for the national title. I do think LSU, if they could just get past this weekend, I think we would all agree with Ironton and Kate Anderson. You condense a super regional. You get to Omaha. You get a day off in between. I think the only chance LSU has to lose would be this weekend, and I don't see that happening. No shot.
So no shot that LSU loses the Baton Rouge Regional. I would tend to agree. They're just such an overwhelming favorite. And you'd like
they would have to play really bad baseball, and I do think a guy like Monster Milan has a good weekend. Maybe it's just the hairdo. I think he told you guys down there that he was going to mess with his hair a little bit. So we'll see.
Whatever works, man. Baseball dudes, superstitious, whatever. Whole chicken, live chicken, whatever. I mean, that thing. Let's go. The big question down here all week, Kendall, has been LSU's offense, sort of the inability to hit in the last month. And I think it's one thing if you're getting handcuffed by Ryan Prager or Liam Doyle. It's another when the freshman midweek guy from Ole Miss shuts you out. And I think that's got people a little spooked. What would you say to LSU fans who might be a little concerned about the offense right now?
Yeah, I do think, I was at the Tennessee series. I did think that the offensive lineup stepped up when they needed to that weekend. I'll be honest with you, I don't take much from a random SEC tournament game like that. I think LSU winning that tournament, just wanting to win a game. And I'm not saying Jay doesn't want to win, but I think they went in that deal just wanting to win a game to kind of solidify top 8.
Yes.
And their approach against Ole Miss was not very good, but I'm kind of wait and see mode. I want to see if they kind of look a little out of it in the opening game of the regional. I think they're going to be dialed in, though, man. It's the postseason. It's LSU. It's the box. I think I'd be pretty surprised if LSU looks lackluster offensively this weekend.
Make sure you follow it all throughout the postseason over at d1baseball.com. Go fill out your bracket as well, d1baseball.com. He's on Twitter at Kendall Rogers. It's Todd Peterson's time of year.
Thank you.
Got him. How about that, Kendall?
There we go. Attaboy, Moose,
Caught him napping over there.
Look at Matt. Look at Matt dropping it. I love it. That's how you know it's postseason time when Matt's dropping the Todd Peterson.
Ted Peterson.
Got to keep him on his toes over there.
There we
You know
go.
what I mean, you lull him into complacency.
He's got to earn his. You know what? He's got to earn his paycheck. Isn't his bonus based off the Todd Peterson?
Ted Peterson.
If it was 2018 was a great year for Muse. All right.
Oh man, Musso cashed out big that year.
Oh man, we appreciate it. Enjoy the baseball, man. Thank you.
You got it, brother. You all have a good weekend.
You do the same. Kendall Rogers from D1 Baseball. He's best. I mean, he's the preeminent college baseball writer in the country. Comes on every week with us during baseball season. That's awesome. We appreciate him. All right, we're brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. We had to Nola. Sean Fazende was at OTAs today. What did he see? We'll find out next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Action Industries, of course, proud partner of LSU Athletics. Hopefully 2 more weekends of baseball at the box and 3+ more weeks of LSU baseball. Remember, every time there's a mound visit, those mound visits are brought to you by Action Industries. So, especially on those midweek games, man, you get a lot of Action Industries shout-outs on the broadcast and in Alec Box Stadium. But Action Industries, a proud partner of LSU Athletics. Within Action Industries, remember their turnaround division is the Advanced Turnaround Group. I know I hammer this message a bunch, but we're in turnaround season, y'all. And the Advanced Turnaround Group is the turnaround division. These are specialists. Their workers are proficient in turnaround work. These are turnaround managers, turnaround coordinators. Their whole careers are specialized in turnaround work. They have 24-hour availability for emergencies, specialty welding. You get personal attention. It's the Advanced Turnaround Group at Action Industries. Action, INC.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalBR.com.
All right, rolling along here. Thursday edition of AFR. Saints are back on the practice field today. OTAs. Our buddy Sean Fazende, Fox 8, was there. Good enough to join us now. Sean, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Does basically everyone just flock right to the quarterbacks to see those guys?
Yeah, and look, they've so far in the limited amounts we've been able to see that they've been sort of the talk of the two practices. So it's natural you gravitate towards the quarterbacks, and their performances have kind of confirmed why we've been watching them so much. So I think all of the above.
What'd you see today from the quarterbacks?
I saw why the Saints drafted Tyler Shuck, and if you're a Tyler Shuck guy, you saw, well, if you weren't there, but if you know, what was on display was what attracted him, the Saints to him. I mean, the arm talent is very, very, very real. He opened 7-on-7 with an effortless 60-yard bomb to Bub Means for a touchdown during 7-on-7. 2 sessions later, not 2 sessions, but two sets later, if you will, the way they were doing it, the way they were rotating. He did it again to Donovan Peoples-Jones. He had another great throw, kind of on a deep corner route to one of the tight ends where he fit it in nicely. So the arm talent, the confidence, and just sort of the maturity and comfort, I think, is there. Now, he also threw the first interception that we've been able to see with where I think is his biggest vulnerability right now. That's just he's just not quite seeing it in that intermediate between the seams part of the field. That's where he's getting a little jammed up, so to speak, and he was late on a throw and got picked off. But the explosiveness was certainly there, and it's 7-on-7, so you can't get too far. You gotta really temper your evaluations, but just the raw physical talent, I think, was on display today.
Right. So in 7-on-7, obviously you don't have a pass rush, which is a huge question in composition. Whenever I hear something like that, though, Sean, my brain goes to, okay, do you praise the offense or are you worried about the defense? So flip it over and tell me on those plays and really in the OTAs today what you saw from the secondary.
Well, I do think the offense has been a step ahead during those 7-on-7s, but the 7-on-7 period is generally an offensive period. But even with that, for instance, Spencer Rattler went 10 for 12 today, while Shuck went 9 for 12 today. And this is coming on the heels of 8 for 8 for Rattler last week and 7 for 8 for Shuck. So I think you're kind of seeing the math here. So, we talked to Alontae Taylor. He kind of said, it's one thing during 7-on-7, but it's a lot different with a pass rush. I would just say, look, they're missing some guys on defense right now. It's geared more towards the offense, but I think at some point that side of the ball's got to catch up a little bit.
The two receivers you mentioned there, Bub Means and Donovan Peoples-Jones, are not the receivers I think many of us are expecting to be standout guys. It'd be great if they are. But are you noticing anything from Olave, Shaheed? Obviously, both those guys coming back off injury.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Shaheed today had the most receptions of anyone. He had 3, and it was sort of a quick slant, run after catch type play. It was a middle of the field dig route from Spencer Rattler. He had another one as well. He almost had a fourth one where he got behind a defender. Rattler slightly underthrew him, so the defender was able to close and it was able to knock it away. Chris Olave was really smooth, working at that sort of second level of the field. I thought Rattler's best throw was a deep dig to him today as well. So both of those guys look fully recovered, fully confident, and embracing the new system, the more offensive-friendly system that the Saints certainly have right now. So they've looked good, but again, they're in very favorable positions right now. They can't get hit, and there's no pass rush right now. So it's a good thing, but they are certainly nowhere near a finished product.
I'm glad you brought that up. Sean Fazende's our guest. He's on Twitter at Sean Fazende, Fox 8, if you want to give him a follow. Whenever you can't hit, it's why until they put pads on Sean, it's almost worthless to talk about the line of scrimmage. The rotation the line offensively is interesting with Penning moving, but is there anything that you're seeing on either line of scrimmage that's notable so far through the couple OTA practices you've all been able to see?
It's just the personnel on the offensive line, in my opinion. I mean, look, we've all been talking about the Trevor Penning skill set. It felt so obvious for a long time that he is a guard. I mean, you talk about how powerful he is, how well he moves, going forward, how much he struggles with lateral quickness when he's out there on an island, how much his footwork kind of goes away when he kind of gets crossed up by those edge defenders. He's a mauler in the run game. I mean, he puts his hands on you. I mean, you've seen it a couple times on tape where, I mean, he puts guys, like, in the ground. I mean, like, buries them. So that, to me, is the most compelling storyline, is the personnel up front, because this, to me, and just listening to Kellen Moore, this is the 5 they're going to go with until otherwise noted, because it certainly feels like that's the 5 they want to start this season. And I think it's you think about it, you have Banks, who's a natural left tackle, as your left tackle, who's a rookie but still a left tackle. Fuaga's a natural right tackle, and now you have Penning, who shifts again, but he shifts back to his more natural side, and to me is going to be his more natural position. And I think, look, they've had so much investment up front.
Yes,
this needs to be a strength of the team. They can't just be competent. This needs to be a strength of the team, and hopefully this is the right mix to get those guys. And I'll also say they've got some quality depth with Clapp, Landon Young, and Dylan Radons as well, as your sort of your 3. Nick Saldivary's got some starts as well, but I think they've got talent up front, but also, unlike last year, I think they've got some quality depth pieces as well.
Sean, a couple more. The guys, you're so right too. I mean, 4 first-round picks, and McCoy's a second round. Like, look at your offensive. Like, this has to be. You have so much invested. Like, they have to be good.
Right.
Look, Penning's a miss as a tackle. He's a miss as a tackle.
Yep.
But get something out of him. Sorry. This is also the time of year where you can start to maybe see some off-the-radar guys, rookies, UDFAs, just start to flash a little. Has anybody caught your eye a little off the radar?
I like Yarn, the running back, one of the Dakotas, the undrafted rookie,
Marcus
Yarn.
Yeah.
I think that's a guy. He's got good vision. He's got some speed that you can work with. It's a guy they really pinpointed during the draft. They may have had another pick, possibly they would have gone with him. But he was one that they really valued in the undrafted free agent process, and they didn't have quite as many undrafted free agents because they had such a big class. So to me, that's been the one guy that I look like and say, because he's getting a few more reps because Kamara's not there. So he's a guy I think that's got a skill set that could perhaps translate to this level where he potentially makes the roster. And, who knows after that. So I think of the off-the-radar guys, I think that would probably be the one that qualifies most, just as someone that's done a couple things to stand out.
Last thing, observation of the coaches as someone, you've been there for Peyton and you've been there for Allen and Rizzi and now Moore as a first-time head coach or the assistants. Any observations from Kellen Moore or the staff?
Yeah, I think Kellen Moore is not going to be the rah-rah guy. He's going to be more of a relatable type coach where he's close to the guys in age. He's not going to be the yeller. He's kind of walking around. He looked like he was calling some plays earlier. I don't know if he was calling the plays during 7-on-7. I had a chance. I was a little concerned because the few times we had a chance to meet with him in the media, really, especially during the whole Derek Carr fiasco, he was really buttoned up. You tell he was just trying not to say the wrong thing. But I had a chance to kind of not hang out, but chat with him for about 10 minutes over at the Saints Hall of Fame golf tournament. And it really put my fears at ease because he was a very relatable guy off camera, really cool guy. You can kind of sense why the players can relate to a player like that. So I think that's probably more than what they're seeing behind the scenes. And look, they put all their confidence behind him. He brings a certain style. It's definitely different from I guess you could say even the previous 3 coaches. When you throw Darren Rizzi in there, but I do think change was needed. And I think you're seeing that just because. The OTAs, Matt, this is probably the lightest workload I've seen during OTAs. I mean, I've never seen them not do a live 11-on-11 during OTAs in all my years covering the team until now. So this is what he prefers. They're kind of doing it incrementally, and they're also, aiming for longevity with some health and players. So it's a welcome change, and so far so good.
Sean Fazende, Fox 8 in New Orleans. He's on Twitter at Sean Fazende, Fox 8. Go give him a follow. We appreciate it as always, man. Thank you.
All right, bud.
Be well. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. You can call 924-2020, 924-2020. You want to see 2020? Call 924-2020. Do what I did. Dr. Blake Williamson got me fixed up, did LASIK. What year was that? Gosh, I'm coming up on almost a decade now. I'm trying to remember how many years it's been. But, man, it's life-changing. I mean, and I don't say that loosely in any way. It's not every day that you can do something that literally changes your life, man. And if you spend your whole life not being able to see, which I did, frog in my throat. From the time I was in the 6th grade, I remember is when I first got glasses and then contacts, and you spend your whole life just becoming accustomed with not being able to see, shoving contact lens in your eye and always preparing for what if you lose a lens, what if one tears, how annoying it is when something gets in your contact lens. At night, having to put on, when you take out your lens, you have to put on glasses, and then you don't get your glasses prescription updated. So when you have your glasses on, it's hard. I can remember how many times I have to drive at night after I took my contacts out to have glasses on, and it's not a up-to-date prescription. It's hard to see. It's all those things. It's going to the beach or swimming in a pool and being worried about getting splashed in the face because your contact may pop out. I mean, it's just everything. It's being able to sit here and just look at the ticker on the bottom screen or street signs when you're driving and just to wake up and see. It's an amazing thing when you haven't been able to do it. I always equate people. It's like HD TV. Once you've seen an HD TV, you'll never go back to standard def as well. And having had LASIK now and seeing 20/20, knowing what this feels like in life, I'll never go back. So call the Williamson Eye Center. Experience that life-changing result. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's Williamson, EYE.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on what's been a really, really busy day. Tomorrow we'll be at Walk-Ons Burbank, the original Walk-Ons. It's Regional Friday, opening round of Regional Ball. Really excited to be over there at Walk-Ons with our friends from Mockler Beverage Bud Light. We'll be doing great drink specials, swag giveaways. Y'all come hang out. They have live music starting at 6 o'clock, totally free. Parish Construction and Roofing, one of the sponsors of that block party as well, to make it free to everybody. So we'll look forward to seeing everybody out there. Terrio and I will be there doing AFR from 3 to 6. So if you're going to the game, come hang out after. If you need a place to watch the game, come watch with us at Walk-Ons on Burbank, and we'll be on. So it'll effectively be a companion show. We'll be talking about the game, and I'm sorry, my headphones are shorting out. Anyway, it's annoying. We'll be talking about the game as it's going on. You get the perspective from Terrio during the game, and all. Then when the game ends, will be a post-game show, so we'll look forward to that. We'll be keeping you up to date with scores and other goings-on from regional ball all around the country tomorrow, so we'll look forward to seeing you there for AFR from Walk-Ons on Burbank. All right, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. Jay Johnson did meet with reporters earlier today. A little bit of what Jay had to say. And if you want to get in a call, text, email, well, not a call, I don't really take calls, but if you want to get in a text, email, tweet, you jump in the bite for a YouTube chat. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show. Welcome you to do that. So stick around with us here. It's AFR.
AFR.
One of the things Darren James does so well is make sure he keeps his clients, you, homeowner, prospective buyer, up to date with what's going on in the housing market. And I talked to Darren a couple of weeks ago, and the housing market in Baton Rouge right now is absolutely on fire. Like the median price per square foot right now in Baton Rouge. I mean, literally as of today, $171 per foot for a house, $126 per foot for a condo, down from the previous week. Tell you, if you want the best, if you're looking to buy or sell, you need Darren James. Especially if you're thinking about selling your home, Darren James has the guaranteed sale program that I talk about all the time. I've been talking about this since 2010. Sit down with Darren James, agree to a price and a deadline. If he doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, he'll have your home bought with cash or he'll sell it for free. What do you got to lose? It's Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website, LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net, powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Bend Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
5'11". Well, I mean, pretty obvious, right? I mean, more automatics, and the opportunity to maybe even steal another one. So I think that's probably, where all of our coaches are.
President Brian Kelly at the SEC spring meetings, it was in the interview with Hester and the guys on Sirius XM. They were asked him what college football playoff model coaches prefer, and he said 5'11", the 5 auto bids, the 11 at-larges. And he said, at the end, the explanation said, well, the more automatic bids with the chance to steal one. I think he got it backwards, right? I mean, I didn't.
Yeah.
Is there an angle of that I'm missing?
No, because it confused me earlier too. But it does track with what Greg Sankey said earlier in the week, that's what the coaches wanted, was 5'11".
5'11" is fine. If you're not familiar, 16-team playoff, 5 auto bids, 1 for each of the Power Four, 1 SEC, 1 Big. So the Big Ten champ, the SEC champ, the ACC champ, the Big 12 champ, and the highest-ranked G5 champ. That'd be your 5 auto bids, and then 11 at large. Like we talked about yesterday, if you were here for it, you have a higher ceiling, but a lower floor, right? I mean, a couple of years ago with that format, the SEC with Texas and OU would have gotten 7 teams in a 16-team field. Well, the year prior, or I guess 2 years prior, it would have been 3. So you got a lower floor. Maybe, like, I get it. If you're a coach, I get 5'11" because you got a bunch of at-large. Basically, if you're in the top 16, you're effectively guaranteed spot. Because if you guarantee the Big 12 2 spots, Big 12 probably ain't going to have 2 teams in the top 16. They could, but that ain't a guarantee every year. So you could steal even more bids for your league. So I get it that the access feels like it's there. There's more access available. But from an administrator standpoint, that's counting money. You want salary. You know what I mean? Like, you want what you know is known revenue. It's like season tickets. Administrators love selling season tickets because they don't have to go try to sell tickets for every game. If the team stinks, then then it's less. You go sell season tickets, boom, that is money in the bank. You got 4 automatic bids for the SEC. That is money in the bank. You can't go over that, but you ain't going under that. Kelly was also asked about the problems coaches have with the selection committee as it exists now.
Our concerns with the committee is in terms of weighting your schedule. They look at just the right-hand column and what that looks like. A loss is a loss. Not all losses are the same.
No.
And I know nobody wants to talk about losses, but the truth of the matter is losses are different. And I think we would rather see a cleaner understanding of the process. Look, when I was at Notre Dame, we played for the national championship against Alabama in 2012. That was the computer. It was all computer. Now we've moved very subjective. We're over here. We need to move it back into add some ratings. Bill Conley's got one. The Massey report. I mean, I know we can't do an RPI, but if we can do something that brings the selection process into a finer line, we'd be in good shape.
I mean, what Brian Kelly's describing, though, is what the BCS was, because the BCS did combine computer ratings and subjective opinion from voters. Now, in 2003, when LSU and USC had the split deal, after that, the Associated Press said, take us out of your formula. We're not here. This isn't why we're here. Take us out. And so they moved forward with just the coaches poll as part of that formula. But there is a way to do it. I mean, you could have that, a ranking, a subjective ranking, and marry it with a rating. But at least going in, everybody knows the number. I mean, there's like a couple of coaches that have been in Baton Rouge in their respective sports were experts at this. Will Wade and Jay Johnson. Like, they are masters at knowing how to manipulate that number, but they know the deck of cards they're playing with when they start the season. Like, Will Wade knew, like, he ain't getting a game with Duke and North Carolina, Kansas. So what did he do? Oh, Tennessee State's probably going to win 23 games. And the way that counts in this column of the RPI, blah, 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 boom. Like, I think they played Liberty one year because they knew Liberty was going to win 20 games. Like, he knew that, so that's how he stacked his roster because it was going to look better for the net ranking in basketball. So if you go into the deal knowing what the rules are, it makes it much easier. The thing that's disgusting, and I ranted about it a couple of years ago, was like Florida State going undefeated and not getting a chance. Why? Because a bunch of goons in a hotel ballroom in suburban Dallas decided they didn't deserve a chance despite winning every game because their quarterback got hurt? What the hell is that, man? Put the shoe on the other foot. Like, what if that was your team? Like, what if that was LSU? That was undefeated, quarterback got hurt, you won the conference championship game with your backup, actually with your number 3, and a bunch of goons in a ballroom decide you don't deserve an opportunity? Yeah, of course it's a problem. That's always going to be the problem with the committee. Like, the answer is the BCS formula. Like, we railed on the BCS, but the problem wasn't the formula. The problem was only 2 teams. So in most years, you had more than 2 deserving teams. The BCS formula with an expanded playoff actually makes a lot of sense. I don't know if they'll ever get back to it, but it's not a bad thought. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Always love telling you about Rouse's. Official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Baseball tomorrow. Fired up for it, man. You need everything for your game watch, for your tailgate. You can swing on into Rouse's. Maybe you're heading to the box. Remember, there's a Rouse's right there on Burbank and Leeds, where I was last Friday for our remote. Pull on into Rouse's. Maybe you want to grab and go. You want some tailgate trays, catering trays. They can do all that for you, man. The chicken drumettes, the mini muffalettas, the boudin egg rolls, the crawfish egg rolls. My goodness, so much good stuff over at Rouse's. Maybe you want piece of meat to throw on the grill, or you got to go do your honeydews and your shopping. They got it all for you over at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. You can always go to the website, the app, get the weekly ad. If you're buying, of course, you're buying on a budget. You want to make sure that you take advantage of all the great deals they have. Get on by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. All right, Muse, do me a favor and run through. It should be over now. The poll that we put up yesterday, it should be just about over. We did at the end of the show yesterday, but I'm curious what the people think.
Yeah, so we really focused on the which playoff format. We did the 5-11, 5 AQs, 11 at large.
Okay.
The 16 highest ranked teams, the Lane Kiffin deal.
Yep.
And then the 4-4-2-2-3 thing. 7
4-4-2-2-2-3.
Yeah, that whole thing we did 4. Yeah.
Thinking to place this up with the guy.
Exactly. 16 highest ranked teams, 69.2%.
Okay. What was next?
Next was the 5 and 11 at 22%.
I think what that tells you is, like, there is not a lot of support for, and you know what else? Like the 4-4-2-2-6 thing, like, I think a lot of people, there may just be some misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Like, of what 4-4-2-2-6 is, but, like, And by the way, it's not 4-4-2-2-6.
No, it's 3. I realized that when I just looked back at it. I was like, wait a minute.
4.
No, 4-4-2-2-3. 4 and 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus, is it?
2 is 12, plus.
Wait, but you have the
4.
There's another one, though, because.
No, there would be no G5 guarantee right there.
We're proving the point of
that
how.
people don't know. Well, you just did the math wrong.
So of how difficult it is to understand it with math and numbers.
The guarantees are 4-4-2-2. It would be 4 SEC, 4 Big 10, 2 Big 12, 2 ACC.
I'm pretty sure the G5
guarantees.
has one there, don't they?
I think they would just, it's been described as 4-4-2-2. But
Okay.
either way, you still.
Anyway, yeah.
You have 18 teams on.
Right.
That's not going to
Bring
be
it on.
Yeah. I'm for it.
I know you are.
But in any event, I'll be curious. But the 16 highest ranked, it's sensible. Doesn't that make sense? Have a season, take the top 16 teams, and put them in a playoff. Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. But I understand everybody's pushback on it because the lesser leagues are going to go. It's going to be a Big Ten SEC Invitational. Well, look at what the College World Series is. I mean, the College World Series last year was made up of 2 teams. You had 14 SEC teams make the NCAA basketball tournament. But you got a 68-team field. So there is representation, and the best teams get a spot. That's why you need a representative field, a large enough field that's represented. That's why I'm saying go to 32. You're going to 32, all this stupid 5-11, 2-4-4, 2-2-6. Go to a 32-team field and have a real playoff where the top 32 teams are in. 1 plays 32, 2 plays 31, on and on you go. We all understand it. It's a playoff. Literally every other sport in the history of mankind does it. So do it. We're getting there. Okay, y'all. Knock out our final break. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks to wrap up the show next.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. I always love sharing these great 5-star Google reviews because it speaks to the experience that so many people have, like I have been able to tell you about. James Blanchard said in this 5-star Google review, my experience with Harley was very good. He knows his job. He was very polite. He's the type of technician you don't mind coming to do a job for you. Harley's been to my house as well. No matter which technician comes to your house, you can rest assured knowing this. They're expertly trained, and they're going to be on time, responsive. They're going to do great work at a fair price. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. And when you have a technician on the way, you'll get a call, a text, and an email alerting you the technician's on the way with their name, a photo of that technician, and reviews of that technician so you always know who's coming to your home. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR. We always appreciate our friends at Decision Critical. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. Schedule that discovery call at decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Good, Matthew. How about you?
Man, I'm doing freaking awesome. Great day today, man. Regional baseball tomorrow. Fired
going
up.
Out to the block, the big tailgate party tomorrow. Huh? We were there today.
We will be there. Walk-ons, Burbank, where the friends over at Mockler Beverage, Bud Light, walk-ons, great giveaways, swag, live music at 6. Going to be a great spot. So if you can't get to the box, come hang out with us over at Walk-ons Burbank.
Yeah, we've been tracking what one seeds are throwing their ace and which are pitching down. Sounds like 3-1 right now that they're pitching down against number 4 seed.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I know. And look, man, this is as weak of a resume for a team to come in as ever with Little Rock. They're so good they dropped the Arkansas from their name. But anyway, they come in, 9th in the league and whatever. But the one who's surprised, North Carolina is throwing the ACC Pitcher of the Year against the 4 seed. That surprised me today, but most of the others are pitching down. Let's go to the Garden tonight, huh? The Mecca, huh? Your favorite city that never sleeps.
I do love New York.
Anyway, you said it closed down too early, right?
Well, I mean, that was surprising. It doesn't mean that I love New York any less, but it is a little surprising when you're bebopping around Manhattan at 11 p.m. and people are like, no, we're closed. Sorry. I'm like, I thought this was the city that never sleeps. I can't get a beer? That's crazy.
So one thing we do know is that the Pacers are deeper than the Knicks. And the other thing we know is that the pace of play has really been high. And in New York, it's kind of, been a welcome dance partner as far as playing this pace from game one. I mean, the last game was game 4 in Indianapolis was the 4th fastest paced game in the playoffs so far, and it's showing on New York a little bit as they're getting tired. A lot of people have criticized Thibodeau with his rotations period, that he plays his starters too long. They were going to eventually suffer fatigue, and maybe it's happening, and it just doesn't add up why they're playing this fast pace. But they'll do it again tonight in front of all the stars. But I'm going with the points, man. I think that this Indiana team they rise to the occasion when they go and play in New York. And New York, just not this year, but traditionally, historically, they lose big games at home for whatever reason. I expect a big effort from New York, maybe in the first quarter. Didn't work out for us last night with Minnesota. But I could see New York being the first quarter lead and or even a halftime lead, and then the Pacers winning the game. So, but we're taking the 4.5 on a straight bet. Also, just underway in Philadelphia. Matt, we're getting the benefit. If you didn't get to play it earlier, getting benefit now because whoever loses game one of a doubleheader, a lot of people bet the losing team. And that's what happened as Philadelphia's going from minus 112 to plus 105 or 110. And so it's, Wheeler is good. He's got a better pitcher. Sale has been hurt a lot of his career. He was the Cy Young Award winner last year, but he pitched so much more innings than he has been. And just not quite the same. He's still good, but not quite the same. The better team, best record in baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies at home plus money in our other games tonight.
It's they're bottom of the first. Otter. It's the Phillies are minus 135 now. We still got value there.
Okay. Nah, I would wait a half inning now. That's a 40-cent move.
Yeah.
Just because the Atlanta didn't score against Wheeler in the first inning.
Okay.
So. Yeah, I would wait till the it was plus money. That's 40 cents for just one scoreless frame. That's too much.
That's why you gotta get it at LouisianaSports.net.
There you go.
Down to minus 120. So patience pays off
here. There you go. I think if it's 0-0 at the end of the first, I think it'll be close to where it was, right around even money.
Cool.
So,
all right, tomorrow.
Rapinoe's tomorrow.
Yep. Awesome.
Yes. We'll have all the starting pitchers. Most of them, Jay Johnson will wait. Charlie almost fell off his bar stool 2 years ago when he
I think we all did. He was right. Mike Rooney did on ESPN's broadcast. I mean, it was a crazy, careless decision, but it worked out.
No. It's easy to be result driven, but I couldn't disagree more. So
what?
Anyway,
that it was the right decision to throw Skeens?
No.
Okay.
I would never.
Okay.
I got a cannon, a rifle, and a pocket knife. I'm not using my cannon against a team that a pocket knife could be. So.
That's what's going to happen tomorrow when they throw Kate Anderson against Arkansas Little Rock. But
probably so. I got it.
All right, Otter.
Man, good luck.
Good luck. Thank you, man. All right, Otter and Handy, they'll be at Ruffino's tomorrow. So we'll be at Walk-Ons tomorrow. We'll look for you then. Thanks again to Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. You missed anything AFR on demand presented by Breck Hall. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have a great night. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
It is Thursday. It is 6 o'clock. Supper Club is open. If you're leaving work right now, don't go home. Don't go home. Call your significant other. Tell him or her, hey, honey, going to Supper Club. Come meet me. We don't have a table. That's all right. Open seating at the bar. Let's go have a glass of wine. Let's have a cocktail. Let's have a great meal. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not there right now. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe they have a table available for you. Thursday, usually going into the weekend, can be a really busy night. But if it's a special night, special occasion, anniversary, birthday, whatever, graduation, or just any night you go to Supper Club is a memorable night. You are creating the memory when you go to Supper Club. So whether you're celebrating something or trying to create new memories, best dining experience, not only the food, but the experience, best place to go is Supper Club. Right there on Perkins near Bluebonnet. SupperClubBTR.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.